Hey, chat and viewers. We are coming to you live with the first game, first game of the final match for the pro qualifiers. I'm joined today by Manuel Velasco from Korea. Hey, welcome.
Yeah, late at night over here, but the passion for these games, we can't be missing these games. Too important. It's
Yes,
too much
yes, I
fun.
love it. I love it. Yeah, I
So
feel
very
like.
glad to be on.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, just gonna say I was glad to be on.
Yeah, glad to have you on. And I watched the AlphaGo games live. Honestly, I'm almost more excited about this. I mean, AlphaGo I think was kind of like next level. Um, obviously kind of world changing, but I haven't been as excited about tournament since then. And yeah, watching this is so cool. And on the board right now we have the Alexander Chi versus Kevin Yang game, and it's a pivotal match for both these guys. Whoever wins this best of three is going to go on to become the next American Pro. So kind of high stakes right now, but not as high as stakes as the folks in the other game, Eric Yoder versus Remi Company. They're playing right now, but they're playing not to lose at this point. So whoever wins their game will go on to face the loser of the match on the top board here between Alex and Kevin, and then. It's going to be a showdown between those players to see who is the second American Pro. So that's kind of how the system's working. And again, all these games from now on out are best of three. We could finish in 2 days if if all the games just blitz out 2-0 wins. But the pairings here are quite even. So I'm kind of expecting, all the games to go to three. So I don't know, Manuel, what have you been? What
Yeah,
are your thoughts on
interesting
the?
styles. Interesting styles. It's almost like I would say Alex and Kevin are very similar in that they're so solid and they wait for the opponent to make the mistake, and then
Mhm.
Eric is more aggressive. And I thought the Remy was
Yeah.
more about the style, similar style to Alex and Kevin, but he just didn't manage to squeak out a win against them. So
Hmm.
it's interesting to, and you see it already in just the opening, in the Josekis that were chosen. That in Remy's game, it's very complicated and the latest AI and very cutting edge, where anything can go wrong at any second. And then
Right.
in Kevin and Alex's game, it's very peaceful. They want to go late with it, so
Cool.
very
Yeah, they're trying
interesting.
to take it to the late game
Yeah.
versus Eric and Remy might. And I think the chat was saying yesterday that Eric has a bit of a weak opening, so maybe Remy's hoping to get at a big advantage. But we've seen Eric literally come back from the jaws of defeat twice in previous games. Once against Kevin, and then yesterday against his opponent, actually
Yeah.
Alex. Yep. And but in both cases could not cinch the victory after kind of making a comeback. And so I think also for me, a little bit of emotional investment in the Eric and Remy game because they're both members of my Baduk house living with me, studying together, which is fascinating. And here they are, going to be competing against one another in this, pivotal match. All right, well, let's get into the review
Mhm.
and kind of talk about the game. And you can lead us through that. That'd be really helpful,
So
and
we're
I'll
looking
ask
at
questions.
Kevin and Alex game, right? And
Hmm.
Alex is black and Kevin is white. I don't. I feel like I struggle a lot these days AI as black because if you're not studying and learning the latest variations, then it's hard to justify the 6.5 combing. I find because with the AI to review, you're able to counter so many of the basic openings that
Hmm. Hmm.
I really struggle to make up that point difference. So, but both everyone here in the top four, they're all studying very hard. So I'm sure they know how to make use of that black.
Right.
Everything's very normal. Jump into the 3-3. Personally, I like, so as black, I would want to develop the right side.
Hmm.
And for what we learned is like you're blocking the opposite side that you want to develop from AI.
Right.
And the reason is that this kind of Joseki, you see that you blocked the left side, the top side, but you're actually getting the right side.
Yeah. I heard that early on in the AI kind of revolution in a Nick Sabicki video. I think he mentioned that. But I haven't mastered this Joseki, so I often avoid it, and that means the way that I block, I don't feel like this ever actually occurs that way. Also, I feel like I've seen a lot of pros kind of blocking one direction and then playing away for a long time, and it still feels like the wall's going that direction. So
yeah, so even if you block the direction, there's always variations that you can like really force if that side is very important. It's not necessarily the case right now, but so like in some cases where the right side is so big, white will actually take the loss of points in the corner just to emphasize that it's, but it's very, very rare case. So generally AI would not like that.
I feel like I've actually seen this exact Joseki in a previous game here. Maybe it might have been Eric's game yesterday, but it wasn't. It didn't work out super well for him. So probably.
But it is very intuitive. You just block here, right? And then I don't know.
Yeah.
We used to make something that's like some mini Chinese back in the day, right, or something like this.
Exactly.
It's not nowadays. We just lose the corner enclosure, but so I can definitely understand Black's thinking. And I'm sure there's either way there's 0.02% or something that hardly noticeable by AI. So all this, it's just their style. They're playing very big and solid moves, not getting into any complicated josekis. And this is, I guess, the first AI one they're attached, but it's very common, so I expect that they're both pretty familiar with it. There's also this Black can choose, like sometimes the outside and the bottom side is bigger, and you can choose something like this. Oh, actually, I think it's possible. You want to ask this move first to see so that you don't get blocked off in the co. So I believe they do push here first. But in this case, at the bottom side, it doesn't warrant this kind. So definitely what they played in the game was more normal. And this is normal, but I was very surprised here when Black Tanuki'd here. Because it feels like you took the points and you gave white this kind of wall, but your stone is in the perfect place as a checking extension. So I think you really want to keep up the pressure. And I wouldn't be comfortable here as white. So I'm really not sure why he went away and played a move like b4. I don't have AI open, so I don't know whether it's good or not. But I feel like he lost a lot of momentum. And b4 is not an urgent place at all, I would say, because from what we learned at AI, first, no one plays b4 anymore, right? Because it's a bit too slack. You're not putting pressure. Even if you have a follow-up move, this extension is quite big, just as white. So it's not so clear that c3 is actually bigger than j3. So yeah, I'm very surprised by the Tanuki over here. And I like white's game a lot more. I would quite a lot favor white here.
Because, do you think it's a bit of a blunder by Alex, or?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a blunder. Because you still have to push, and you're so thick that you can just be hunting everywhere. And I'm assuming white will play something like this, and the game will go on from here. But if you see this whole white group doesn't really have a base, it's not making points, whereas you're getting something at the bottom almost naturally. So I really would have expected something like this from Black.
Well, and I feel like in the games that we've been watching, usually it's much more kind of like always pushing for Sente, always pushing to keep your opponent unsettled and chasing for profit. When Black plays away there, then there's nothing like that.
This whole thick group that Black made at the bottom is not really useful as soon as white gets that 0-6 move.
Yep.
So yeah, for me it was very surprising, but the game is still early, so I'm sure there'll still be chances. He does do the shoulder hit here. I don't like it as much because you're not developing the center and you're not really developing the bottom after white has 0-6. So I'm not entirely sure what the purpose is of this shoulder hit now.
Yeah.
And I would
I hear Bob's kind of telling us actually that Katago doesn't like our O6 move. Do you mean for white or? Yeah, I think we're actually working right now on getting some kind of Katago running in the background, and we can kind of add it to the stream later. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. But yeah, if chat has insights, let us know.
It's no difference with the game. Wow. So Katago would play b4?
Right. Yeah, that also baffles me too.
Wow. Well, that's one reason why I don't understand Go. Yeah,
Right.
I would never.
The stronger you get, the stronger you get, the more you realize you don't know.
Okay, cool. And then, I mean, the shoulder hit is probably never bad. b4 is just minus 0.1. Wow. So that is a big point. Strong, Alex.
Yep. Yeah, here we are trying to judge Alex, but he's too strong.
Oh, we judge away. It doesn't mean we're correct in our judgment, but we judge away. This is interesting. I would, because he's kind of trying to build the bottom while reducing white's top. But if I were to reduce white's top, I would have probably done it from this side over here. He doesn't want white, I don't know, he doesn't want to give white this move, I guess, and then he gets both. He doesn't want white to get both, kind of thing. Well, he's going to extend. But he doesn't want to give white both. But right. I must say, I've never really seen this E14 move. It's a first for me. And it doesn't seem, seem to be putting much pressure on white. He can just answer, I think.
It feels weird with the stone placement at C12, shape-wise, but maybe C12 would, I'd almost want it to be closer or farther away or something. But it's, I guess it does protect against white doing any shenanigans with that kind of group there.
I've definitely seen
like you said,
when, let's say you have a wall like this and there's no stone at C12, and then I don't know how, something like that. And instead of doing something like this, I've seen AI be like, let's grow bigger. But you already have a stone at C12, so I don't understand it as much in this situation.
Oh, Budkin, I love that. Yeah, this could be kind of the first of many Alex Kevin games in a potential future rivalry. If let's say they both advance, I mean that would be huge. So
two very young players, very promising. So yeah, they can be playing a lot of games between each other from here on out.
Right.
Is this the first time they're actually playing? That's quite surprising already at their level.
Yeah. Well,
first official match.
Right, they were in different brackets in the early part of this tournament, and then I've seen Alex at two tournaments I've run, but I've never met Kevin, so he's I wonder if they haven't actually played.
Well, America's a huge country, so if they live far away from each other, it's very possible they've never played. Definitely understand that. So this is a very aggressive, something you would never think. We used to consider these three stones as a wall, and then he's like one space away from attacking this wall. It's very interesting how much Go has changed.
Yeah.
Right? So I definitely expect for him to do like the leaning, where he gets out by leaning on the tops, because white is already strong after N17.
Right.
So he definitely wants to lean against that to build some more strength himself. And that does seem to be what happened in the game, but he Tanuki'd. Yeah. So white doesn't. Oh, I'm still on the.
Hey, son. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, Eric's still in it. Can you believe it? Eric and Remi. I mean, we're hearts are torn here at the Vidacast, to watch our two players there. But
White doesn't want a result like this, where he just blindly follows the regular pattern and then loses a stone on the inside at Q14. So I like the Tanuki timing at Q12. And let's see how, like this. Okay. You have to add one more move as black. If not, there's no real reason to do the 017 exchange. I'm assuming jump can be cut, so it's not easy to find a shape move here, I guess. You don't want to just extend just because it looks lame.
Right. It does, I guess, kind of get ahead of the white group at the top, but then what is the wall doing? What is it actually attacking, right?
If you're gonna extend, I don't really see the point of making the 017 and 18 exchange. Because white's not really gonna do this.
Right.
Well, probably not. So we'll see. We'll see what black has in mind. But we seem to have already caught up to the game. Sync, yeah. So he's still thinking over here.
Yeah.
But I definitely,
right.
I don't know. I like white's position ever since 06, but apparently my judgment is off on that one.
Well, but so I think AI can kind of see some variations, right, that might not actually get played. And so from the human perspective, I agree with you. I mean, I'm weak, pretty weak, but same idea is like, can they actually follow up? Can black actually, if that was fine for black to let that happen, but does black actually have the ability to follow up and deal with it?
Right.
So the AI can, but humans are, lack something, imagination or the competing power. I don't know.
They lack a lot of things compared to the AI.
Yeah.
So black really wants to add a move over here to justify the Tenuki, but then he also doesn't want to lose his stone on the right at R11. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to see how he handles it, because now that ever since 06, this wall is not weak. It's not like a shapeless wall anymore. So it's harder to move the stones.
Oh, well, sure enough, he's going to try. Yeah.
Is this the sync? Oh yeah, so that's a move in the game.
Yeah.
What are we looking at over here? Yeah, he can't possibly allow white to just cover and connect everything while making points all together.
Yep.
But what are we looking at over here? Is white gonna attach through? This is the ladder, so that's terrible. I think for those, this is actually, so that's not good. So how would white handle this? Probably just jump out himself.
Be strong on both sides and then have no worries. Hey, London Go Center. Thanks for joining the chat. Manuel, you have a lot of fans. I'm amazed.
I can see why. London Go Center.
Yeah. Why is the London? I mean, yeah.
I don't know anyone in London.
Yeah. It's good though. It's good. Positive says, I'm sure Alex thinks he's behind, regardless of what AI says. Yeah. And actually, I was talking to Remi and about this, and he says he always feels like he's behind, even when he's ahead. And maybe it's something about strong players, and they helps them keep their edge. If you think, oh gosh, I'm in a bad position, better push harder. So.
Some people play better from behind, so it's good to they purposely think that they're behind, maybe.
Yeah, right. I like that.
So I guess I'm expecting just a regular shape move over here, because I don't really see any other way to directly handle this group. When the move when the cut at Q10 isn't working, it's not super easy. See, you block. You just blocks. Interesting.
A block. what's the purpose of that block? I mean, what's white looking for here to go?
So he wants to make sure that the R11 stone and the top group at R16 are fully disconnected.
Yep.
Because there's always this, maybe less so with this Atari, but this kind of thing where you don't really want to give black the extra move at S18, so you play like this. Yep. And then it's very easily connected, right? The stones.
Right.
So he's trying to disconnect that.
Yeah, and I guess white probably feels strong on both sides, and so he said, all right, black, you're the one that needs to worry. Like, I'm going to keep you disconnected. White's group on the kind of bottom is fine for now, although it'd be crazy if it came under attack. That'd be super exciting. And then white says, hey, my 2 stones here on the P row, 3 stones now, they're totally fine. Like, you can't kill them, and I'm just going to attack you, actually. Which server are the games? The games are on OGS. So, and I'll drop some links for you guys.
So the jump at the top does feel natural, but
thanks, Dave.
There is that worry that it can later be cut. So I was kind of expecting just the Nobi, just the extension. But the thing with strong players is that they go the extra mile, they leave the Agi, and then they just trust that they're going to be able to handle that later, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Alex showing confidence in himself. And at this point, so a move in the top would be big, because you don't want to get attacked. These 2 stones at D17 for white, you don't want to be forced to take only the corner while black plays a move on the top. But then you also want to, black ignored your move at R12, so you want to deal with that. So I wouldn't mind some kind of cap around here. You force black to run, and then later connect up. I think that could be interesting as well. I don't see himself wedging quite right now. It's way too early for that.
Right, but we're looking at that, so that's like something to keep in mind for white.
Yeah, so it's a one space jump, but it's not connected, kind of thing.
Yep.
I don't think he's gonna do this. No, this is terrible. Yeah. So he leaves that Agi behind, but he's faster by 1 space. So. And understandably, they're taking their time with the opening, very important match. They have a lot of time to think. So I don't know if you want to look at the other. Oh, we do have some moves. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah. So here's my plan for Chad and for going forward. We'll have shortly Edward Zhang joining us, which will be very exciting. I'm going to eventually maybe do a quick talk with him and then throw you guys into the job of reviewing the other game and then kind of following everything and hanging out with chat. So that'll be cool because Edward was actually a participant in the event, didn't make it through. Really tough field, obviously. And actually, he was doing a lot of complimenting of Eric because I think they'd played before, and Edward, kind of felt like Eric really grew a lot in strength. So, that was a huge compliment from Edward, and I think he'll have some interesting insights to what it was like on the ground as well, since he was there in DC. For people that don't know, I saw some questions in the chat, kind of already answered, but I'll just reiterate it again. This is actually happening live in Washington, D.C. Canadian and U.S. Go players are showing down to become the next North American Go Federation professional. For people that, previously knew, that was the kind of AGA GoPro, but a little bit disingenuous since we, it wasn't just American Go players. It was also U.S. Go players, also some
Canadians.
Canadian Go players as well. In fact, the strongest one being Canadian. So Yeah, so kind of forming this North American Go Federation was a huge task, and that way too, Asia could invite the pros, our kind of pros to compete with them in their tournaments, China, Korea, Japan, stuff like that, and yeah, that was a formation here. So yeah, bringing on Edward is the next play. We're also going to probably add some AI kind of insights to the screen as we go today. Kind of came up with this idea last night, and then if you're not aware, we're Badu Chaos here is throwing this together on the spot. So really awesome job from the team. Huge shout out and thanks again to the people that I'm working with, Javier, Ursa, Jay, and Paul. Also to all the game recorders and the TDs and everybody in Washington, D.C. at the National Go Center making this happen. Huge thanks. I mean, it's in crazy. So how much kind of people are putting, how much effort people are putting into making this work. And also, hey, if I'm talking to you in chat and not replying, it's because I'm also trying to message a bunch of different content creators and bring you in. If you want to participate, reach out. My main goal with this is to have exciting commentary. And so, love bringing on different people and getting different insights. So, that's what I asked about the schedule. Is there a schedule or just playing 3 games in a row? So there is a schedule. Every day, games happen at 9:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you check out the link at Badu Club, it'll actually tell you in your exact time zone what that when that match is happening. And of course, we always have the links there for the OGS games, on the Badu Club link, so you can find them there, or of course join us in the stream. We are doing a best of 3, so the Alex versus Kevin game. We'll do 2 today. If one person goes 2-0, that's that, and they're the pro. If not, the next, the third game will happen tomorrow morning, and that'll be the deciding game for them. And then from there, we'll keep doing best of 3s until we figure out who the second winner is. Yep. When Dave froze your time management.
So chat is saying that there's some fireworks going on in Eric and Remi's game, so you might want to jump into that one.
All right. Let's do it. Let's go to Eric and Remi and see what's going on there. Yeah. Thanks, chat, for letting us know what's going.
But they're saying that the game might not last that long, so
yeah,
that would surprise me. Oh, so yeah, as I was saying, they're already playing this new Joseki's over here, which I know absolutely nothing about. So the purpose behind before, everyone used to play this one without thinking, right?
Right.
And then when you attach here, you remember seeing this one probably, it would always leave this weakness behind that you can take advantage of this elephant eye. So they didn't want to do that. So then white wouldn't attach here. He would try here. And then the next metagame is for black to, in the first place, just play here because he's also aiming at the elephant eye over here. So as soon as white stopped attaching here and giving him that kind of good exchange where he has a move at S16 and then can later jump down and connect himself like this, then black started doing these kinds of moves. And the variations are very tricky here where white will like seal the outside and give a huge territory, but the influence justifies it.
Wow.
So that's usually what they go for, but I'm not exactly too familiar with this exact variation. So this is interesting. They're just small kusumis going everywhere.
I mean, this is I've never seen any of this. I mean, it feels very cutting edge, but the same time, kind of mentioned this earlier. We know Eric, while being a very strong player, sometimes falls behind in the opening. So maybe I wonder if Remi's trying to kind of take this super hard route and just try to put the nail in the coffin. And based on chat, it might be working. So let's go on and let's look at it.
Yeah, but from what I saw in the game, I looked up a few moves. It wasn't that favorable for Remi, the result.
Oh, so okay.
Here, what black is trying to do is capture this one stone at S14, and then you can't really save it right now. Well, you could, but then you lose the much more important stones at P14, and then black is very happy with this result. So that's really unacceptable for white. So white is trying to get this exchange in, and then later, if black were to answer, then you can come out and eat these stones.
Mm-hmm.
Because, right, you cannot capture this.
Yep.
So that was the purpose of white's N15. And then let's see. Oh, sorry about that. So black crosscuts, and this is ensuring that now with this one here, as soon as white comes out, it's already an Atari. So you cannot move these stones anymore. So this crosscut is kind of sealing the deal, making sure that the S14 is captured. And then here, I think Remi might have blundered a little bit because I didn't like the result of the actual game for him. He just
it didn't. Okay, yeah. I see.
Then, which allowed black to get these exchanges in, which kind of play with white's liberties. Then, understandably, white comes back and captures these two stones. These two stones are captured. They can't really run out anywhere, right? White will win this liberties.
Yeah.
So these stones are captured. And then black comes in here with this fancy move. I'm not sure. Personally, I would have made the exchanges. I would first threaten and then come and capture. Because later on, let's say white has a stone and you don't have the ladder anymore, white might be able to move these R12 stones. And from the nonsense I'm seeing in the game, that might be what happened.
The nonsense. Oh no, somebody blundered. So might not.
I mean, I don't know if it's nonsense or I don't know what the exact sequence was, but then you have to come back anyways.
I see.
And then if you come back and connect, now that you don't have the ladder, white doesn't need to add a move because any net is not good enough because black only has two liberties, even if there's no net. But so you really have to capture these stones in a ladder, and if you don't have the actual ladder, so I think black might have missed a timing. Well, actually, he can still do it. Anytime he still has a ladder, he can still exchange the connect at P12 for white's N13. And I can understand him not wanting to do that because N13 is a pretty decent shape. You're giving white a move. You don't want to make an exchange unless you're sure it's in your favor.
Right.
But if he misses the timing altogether and then white can move those stones, it could be a disaster. Because if you let's just assume these white stones are alive for some reason and there's no, I don't know, let's say something like this happens.
Sure.
Black's corner is not alive because you cannot capture this stone. Well, I guess you can live small in the corner, but you lose the big stones at R15. So that would
that'd be a disaster.
For black, sorry.
For black.
Yeah, and you try to make an eye over here, but you lose the eye over here. So he definitely cannot afford to let those R12 stones run away, because then you have to actually come back in Gote and live in that corner, which is quite depressing. So I definitely would have connected at P12 earlier and just simply gotten the exchange out of the way, because it's just a necessary exchange in my view.
Right. That makes sense.
So he did not move out right away, and Remi just took the big point at the top. He has a lot of thickness aiming towards there, so he wants to do as long an extension as possible. Definitely a good move. This one, it's not the same thickness. You're not going to build a very big moyo here on the right. I think the right side is rather small, actually. If you're assuming that white cannot run with those stones,
right?
If you think white cannot run with those stones, then the right side is not actually big for either side.
I wonder, obviously the top is probably the biggest, but white kind of gets the first move up there, it looked like, and then maybe black's wanting to really put the nail in the coffin on those two stones, because everything has a little bit Aji. I've been working with my kind of weaker students, and they're kind of exploring this idea of Aji and how incredibly powerful it is. Like, you really, you have this feeling these stones are dead, and then all of a sudden they come back. So, I mean, are those 2 stones? Are they really lacking that much Aji that black doesn't want to throw another move, kind of somewhere around, or
If you
you just
assume that this exchange is done,
okay,
then these stones cannot really run out.
okay,
He can crosscut and get this kind of Punuki, I guess. Or actually, no, this might seem like this is too much for black. So he can. Oh, there is Aji indeed. Yeah, so actually the Aji is quite bad. So then why didn't white move the stones is the question. He didn't want to just crawl the whole way.
So you're saying white maybe could have brought out the stones, but it
Yeah,
would be
but the
painful.
result would be very, very painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought black could just Hane here without a problem after having done the P12 exchange, but looks like the Aji is a little bit worse
Okay.
than I originally
Yeah. See, I knew it.
expected.
I knew it. There's some Aji. Aji's powerful. Also, hey, just to let you know, we've snuck a little graph into the stream here to kind of give some AI kind of opinion on the current state of the game. We have somebody in the other room manually recording it into the AI and then publishing that graph here. So kind of cool new addition to the stream.
Okay, no, this was the move. This was the move. Okay, so those 2 stones are dead, but white can get a nice Punuki, I guess,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
on the side. So maybe he was worried about that. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like to me like it was the biggest move to play on the right side, but I can definitely understand being worried about that Aji. And then Remi ignored the approach, which is very common nowadays, because
Yep.
you don't worry too much about the counter pincer. Black goes ahead. There's no ladders to think about, so I honestly have no idea which side to attach ever. So if there's no ladder involved, which in this
Yeah.
case white has neither of the ladders,
Yeah.
I just flip a coin and attach one of them, basically. But
I
I
mean,
guess
do you get any sort of like benefit? Because I was sometimes I think about moves like, what if my opponent plays away? Like obviously, want to have a move that actually has a severe or like interesting follow up, but maybe it doesn't matter in this case, or maybe we don't want to white lent this way because they're still hoping for some Aji on the right. They don't want to strengthen the black stones on the right, kind of thing, or
yeah, I think R6 still leaves a lot of Aji, so if he doesn't want to ruin whatever Aji is left in the 2
yep,
stones. So that's
yeah, yeah,
basically his reasoning. I'm assuming to attaching at the bottom, and I can
yep.
definitely get behind that. Why is it going crazy?
Yeah, OGS is going crazy. I don't know. Uh, I think
Wait, what? Who's playing the moves for me? I'm not clicking.
Is that me? I think it's the stream. Try and click off of the branch that we're on. It might be the game recorder. Maybe it has some sort of error here. Game might be over, and they're doing something here.
Okay, seems normal. Okay, so you choose this one when you want to put emphasis on the right side. So I think with this Joseki choice, it's clear to me that Remi wants to do something with those 2 stones. And with his move at f3, he now has a ladder.
Yeah,
Remember the ladder we were talking about?
yeah.
So I think there's definitely a lot of IG that can be activated here, and it'll be interesting to see what White does with that. Oh, that was Tangje that was doing that. Okay. And then he immediately activates that. Okay, we're gonna see how this plays out, but I don't like this for black at all, because what we said, he needed the ladder, right? So even if he gets something like this, the net's not good enough, because his cutting stones only have 2 liberties.
Okay.
And then he'll have to come back and live in the corner, which is a pretty disastrous result, in my opinion.
For sure. Yeah. Go Dave, making a witty joke here. Man, Eric really likes to be 20 points behind. Yeah, but who knows? I mean, this is classic Eric. He's practicing his kind of Lee Sedol like comeback moments. I think he's trying to create some good highlight reels. I think that's Eric's plan.
Yeah. He's making Go a spectator sport. I like it.
Yeah.
So this is very counterintuitive, right? Like, you're making this exchange that's also like making these 3 stones very easy to capture later.
Yep.
So he's gonna have to do this driving Tesuji, but I don't know how much of an actual Tesuji it is. He's giving white a lot on the outside. You can take these losses if it results in like capturing the Q11 stones, right?
Okay.
But white's not getting captured here either way.
Yeah,
so
it seems highly unlikely.
Remi Atari's here. That's a little bit surprising to me. If he just captures, he was worried about black fixing the shape in this way, I suppose. But I wouldn't mind that all that much. So he does Atari. He wants to make sure black doesn't get those. And captures. He's just making black heavier. Okay. This is rather a disastrous result. And I don't see, if black connects here, the white group at R11 is already alive.
Okay. Suddenly game over, says Yin. Yeah.
So black can capture these stones, but the stones in the middle are a lot more important at this point. And then,
wow.
So and the corners, let's not forget that the corner is not alive.
Right. So white beats him back over there too. That corner's dead. The center's dead. Black gets one bottom right hand corner, but white's thick on the top. Yeah, it would be hard to come back in this position. And yes, score estimator from AI saying kind of pretty solidly ahead, right, with a 22-point lead at the current state. So yes, bottom right score estimators telling us the current state.
So to be fair, also it's not that big to capture, because you're capturing like this.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like this. Not sure exactly, connect or capture, but it's Gote, and black is living with some points in the corner. So unless there's a fancier way to capture this group, which there doesn't seem to be. I'm terrible at life and death, by the way. Full disclosure. No, I don't really see a cleaner way without having to do the throw-in.
I mean, throw-in just makes sense. They're probably, who knows what else is possible, but I feel like the throw-in is just like pretty obvious.
But at this point, it's become endgame, because you already captured cutting stones. So they were big to capture when they were cutting stones that connected all your groups, right?
Right.
But at this point, they're just points. They're really just 10, 11, 12 points or so. So it's very small, actually. 12-point or 15-point Gote is very, very small at this point. So.
Right. Yeah, there's so much more left to do on the board. And especially, again, kind of given the Eric position where he likes to do comebacks, you're not going to waste time, doing those kind of stuff when there might be some sort of some tricks up your opponent's sleeve. So.
Mm-hmm. So he's taking his time here, but he's definitely in a rough spot over here. I don't really see how, because his potential is completely nullified. He had two corners, but they've already been approached. So it's not like he can just make a corner enclosure.
Yeah.
So he's moving these stones first. He likely doesn't want. So if let's say white answers, then he'll try and go for this one, I guess. And these stones are already captured, and it's not as easy to just capture these black stones in the center with one move. So I'm expecting white to not answer that and just very safely. He'll just accept being squeezed a little bit there.
Yep.
Actually, might be too much to capture like that.
All right, looks like, we got Edward joining us. Manuel and I can see Edward. Chat cannot see or hear him yet, but Edward, welcome. We'll have stream put you in. Actually, let's do it this way real quick. Manuel, I'm going to put you on kind of standby here, put
Sure.
Edward and I together. And
Hi, Edward.
Edward and I can talk a little bit, let the game progress, and then we'll throw Edward and Manuel into to watching the games live and commentating together. So, and Edward, just to kind of give you a little bit of an update here. The way it's currently working is, Manuel's leading the review, and then you guys will be able to talk about it and suggest best moves and stuff like that. Yeah, but thanks for joining us.
It's okay. It's okay. I missed most of the second game because that's just happens way too early for me. But this one staying up till 2 a.m. It's not the worst.
Right, and Biba's in the chat as well. Awesome.
Chat, so
yeah, talk to them.
Showing up.
Yeah, yeah. We got a lot of people hopping in the chat, and actually, yeah. So we still can't hear Edward. I mean, obviously you and I can hear Edward, but so I guess Edward, just hang out there for a second, and we'll have Manuel comment until my producer says we're ready. Oh wait, here we go. We got Edward in. All right, good. Awesome, Edward, welcome.
Hi guys. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely my pleasure. You and I have been working together for a while, and it's my favorite thing about organizing the Go world is when you work together, you can do magic. And you're a super serious organizer in the Virginia area, putting on the Virginia Open each year. It's an incredible online tournament that I've helped you run. You always bring me in. I'm very gracious. You're a longtime Go organizer for the AGA as well. Been on the board before, and always pushing to make American Go better. So thank you. But also, okay, so I know you as an organizer, but you're also a very strong player. Taijum 8 Dawn, your AGA something real high Dawn, although the AGA ranks are a little bit, unupdated right now, so that almost doesn't matter. I've heard you also have 3 teachers.
I try to take more lessons from the masters. Yeah, I think that helped me improve about 1 or 1.5 stones over the last year.
That's incredible. Yeah, you've been working hard with the pro quals in mind. Unfortunately, didn't make it through the round robin session. I mean, super strong kind of field. But I've been following you now for a while. You came in second place in my tournament, the Midwest Open, which also had honestly a very strong field too. So it was really cool to see you going for the top, because I think you're up there. And how was it, playing with these players in the round robin section?
Yeah, that's a great experience. I feel very thrilled, playing with the North America's very best. And also thank you for doing a lot of work. For example, you're especially recent years, you're very, very active organizer. You have your residency program, and then have very strong players who go there, kind of have full-time study, right, with your residents. And then Eric, Yoder, Remi, Campagnie, they're both made it to the final 4. Very, very impressive. Actually, I feel like I also started very hard in the past year. Manu probably also know this. I took 2 lessons with Yun Kim every twice a week, but still a little short to your residents. Yeah, but I think overall the past few days it's a very friendly environment. I feel a little bit of nervous. However, not that much though. So I think everybody is very happy to be there. After game we can review the game for a long time, and also we have a group dinner on Sunday night. So it's very very good experience. I hope more people will enjoy this kind of event next year. Hopefully we get 30, 40 people coming. Yeah.
Yeah, the North America, Canada, U.S., Mexico actually have a lot of strong players, and it'd be just delightful to have them out. And I think I've been having so much fun following this. I'm not actually usually super on it about what's happening in the news, but I mean, to me, this is one of the most exciting things. Seeing people I know as well. Eric, Remi, somewhat bittersweet, by the way, because I'm kind of trying to. I support you and Eric and Remi, so here, I've actually kind of, helped them get better, maybe some small amount, and which is it's tough because I a lot of really cool people in the community. So but only two. It's actually what makes it more exciting. It's like only two can emerge victorious, and it doesn't matter, anything else. And so that's real competition, real stakes. So. But yeah, it's good to hear that the players have been friendly, because that would be kind of.
I guess I can realize the disadvantage because you know them so well. And the last time I went to Ohio, I didn't even buy you dinner. That's my bad.
No, Edward, you've been an incredible friend. So there's no worries there. Thanks for coming on. Well, let's end the interview. We'll get to doing some review stuff.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, and one quick thing I want to share, sure. Because I think this time the tournament is very well organized. So I think there's a lot of behind the scene warriors. Not mention about like Hajin and Andy Oken. They both flew from California to DC just for that one day for a little very brief opening, right? But they flew all the way. Also, the game commentators like Devin, Derek Joe, and Tony Yang, they spend days there with a few other, like for example, I saw Justin Tin also joined the game recording yesterday. Yeah, but I think kudos to a lot of the behind the scene warriors. Also the Go Center staff like Gary Smith, Guji Kasa, and there's a lady, I don't know her name, but I think she's a producer. She took a lot of pictures, put the photos on eJournal.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been kind of giving broad shouts to this crew on the ground, but I really appreciate you mentioning their names. You know them better. You're there, and they deserve huge round of applause and credit. So well done to all those people. Yeah, thank you. Cool. All right, we're gonna switch over just Manuel and you, and I'll dip out. But again, super exciting. Gooplet's doing a lot of work too. Thank you, Positive, right behind the scenes, helping me kind of connect to people and organize and coordinate with EJ. So yeah. So
wonderful.
Yeah. But
kept Manu for too long. This game, I think.
Have you been following along?
Alex are we showing Alex and Yoder? This is.
Yeah. So Edward, to give you
now I see
look.
The two screens. Yeah.
Right, the top right in our vision is going to be the what the chat sees and the kind of current game. But I've been actually keeping kind of just OGS open in another tab or on my phone or something, and following along there because it's not super clear, but you might be able to see the screen. Producer.
Yeah, I have another computer I can see. Yeah,
Oh yeah, you do too. Okay, nice.
Yeah, but I have a little bit of a because I played both Remi and Alex. I lost to them, but I think Alex is very good at territory game and settling, and very steady. And Kevin, obviously also very good all around. But he also play some nice offense attacking moves, and I think in this game early on we can tell the style. Well, but Alex taking black, he's taking more territories, and but Kevin feel comfortable as long as he has ways to attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's very obvious, nice styles of the two players.
Yeah, it's actually been fascinating for me to watch as a somewhat weaker player and see these different styles and how they're fully utilized. Because I feel like as I develop my own Go, I'm not certain kind of what's what my style is, and so seeing what's possible has been really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, Javier, are we good to
Yeah,
go?
I think that maybe Manu will agree that at this level, also a big lot of stake at this tournament. I think they don't play random opening at all. These openings are probably they put hours, maybe even days of effort into a opening that they favors, because a lot of at stake, right, at these two games today. So
Yeah,
they're going
absolutely.
to play very steady and with very high probability they can succeed, right? So we
They
can
definitely
tell.
studied AI once or twice.
Hmm.
I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.
Oh, thank you, Devin. Oh, great. We
So
have
you have
Manu
control,
back.
Edward. We're on your screen, I'm assuming.
You have control, Manuel.
Yeah,
Oh,
you feel free to control.
it's
Yeah.
not currently being screen captured in my screen.
Oh, okay. We'll put the screen capture for you back up. Yeah.
Yeah. So Manu, which one you want to follow up first?
I think we're pretty much we just did Remi's game here. We're more or less caught up, so I think we could just finish and then jump back to Kevin's game because there's been quite a few moves that
Yeah.
we started a little bit on Kevin, and then we'll just go back to where we left off from.
Yeah, that's great.
So it wasn't the push at N10. He actually just connected, and white took the points there, and then black cuts. And white plays here, which is he doesn't want to give black the N10, so he wants to fix that and then come back and fix. So how do we feel? I think white is still very comfortable because he has his stones everywhere, right? And he has the points. He still has the Aji at S17 where he can capture those stones whenever he wants for extra benefit. So I would definitely be comfortable as white over here. What do you think, Edward?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think black has a wall, but Remy is very good at this kind of situation. Like gradually reducing the potential
Mm-hmm.
and cash out his lead at territory. I think Remy is very good at this kind of game.
Black has a wall, but there's well, it's obviously black's move, so let's just assume place here. He'll probably want to, I don't know, maybe pins it seems too tight, pins over concentrated. But there's like all these peeps, right? And he already has the stone at F3, so I really don't see black making any big benefit with these walls.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not liking black's position too
That's
much,
true. It's
but it's
hard.
definitely he's behind, but it's not game over. He can still. We've seen some blunders late games, and there's been comebacks, so it's definitely not time to resign right now. I would say. Harry Blood is
Yeah.
surprised by N10.
I think Remy's reading is fast reading is also very good. Like when I play him, I don't think he made any mistake in viewing me. He's even though I try to make a situation as complicated as possible, try to uh, get all his territory, kind of a gambling with the dragon, but he solved that complication very well. And Eric, I think he's reading yesterday when he played Alex. He tried to do something very complicated in the middle, but Alex saw the Tetsuji. But I think Eric with the strategic wise, strategic very, very good. He knows where to, where
Some good
to
judgment for strategy.
test. Yes. Yeah.
I do doubt the N10 is good point by Harry Blob that if you come back to this, it's basically the situation and where does White want to play, and I definitely would not play N10 as White over here. So if we change the order of the moves to make the exact situation, I would much rather play J3 or even D2, but probably J3. So yeah, definitely doubt Remi's move a little bit, and I'm not like he didn't want to give N10 and then have to answer to not have to not be squeezed. But I think he can just jump. I think he can comfortably jump, and it's not the worst. N10 is not that big for Black. He's already very thick over here, so I'm a little bit curious what he was thinking. But yeah, I would definitely chalk it up to a small mistake, a little bit slow.
Yeah, I think you made a great point because at this moment, seems like J3 is right is more stable, more like a cache, easier to handle, especially when you have a lead.
Mm-hmm. And then sync up over here, and then we're at the game. And Black's trying to reduce White's potential. So if you can imagine that White got another move over here, suddenly you're growing very, very fast. And White's situation at the top is better than Black's. So they each have a wall, White at the top and Black at the bottom. But White's better because he has the move. He has both moves. He has F17 and F3. So he's limiting Black's potential, whereas Black doesn't have a move to limit White's. So I can definitely understand Black prioritizing the top.
Yeah.
Because White can grow so quickly. And we're pretty much caught up with this. So you want to jump in and take a look at Kevin's game?
Sure. That's totally fine.
I don't know, did you have a chance to look at some of the earlier moves or?
Yes. I took a quick look. So I mentioned about the style. For example, the 06, I think 06 is a very solid move.
Right.
For Kevin.
I was saying that I would never allow someone to play that Atari 06 against me. I would definitely extend as Black and keep the pressure on the White Stones. But it seems that AI actually liked Alex's choice.
Because Alex, like he take a big territory, because usually in the opening level, one move is worth about like around 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see why Alex liked the territory versus influence.
Right. Yeah. Right. So definitely a very territorial player. Good to know.
Right, but so here this N16, when I saw the N16, I'm not sure the direction is good because the White on top is also already very solid. So it seems like we try to play away from the strings, right? White strings.
So what are you thinking? What kind of move?
I haven't thought about the details yet, but my instinct is like N16 is kind of you put yourself against the wall, and White also Tanuki, and you don't have much good follow-up move.
Yeah. So usually the follow-up is that you're able to press White a little bit lower, right? Compared to White getting the Hane. But I can understand the White that decides to capture the R11 stone in the game and allow some small benefit for Black at the top. But I also don't see a good way for Black to move out with these stones over here. It's interesting how Q14 is actually a rather severe move in this case. Not a move I would have considered, but it looks quite good.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyways, another way.
But when I see White got a Q12, I think it's kind of a get in his rhythm because White can comfortably attacking two groups. But if Black had to give up the stone on the right, then the territory is a little big, and so White can catch up some territory.
But if you want to deny q12, like you want to move with this stone, but after the 06 Atari, I don't really see a very feasible attack against these white stones, right? It's not easy, at least in my mind.
Yeah, I think it will be complicated. Something like
Running
two
fight.
dragon versus two dragons.
So you think Alex should have tried something like this? More all in, or not all in, but aggressive fighting, complicated fighting.
Yeah, I would say so. But I'm not saying his strategy is not good. I'm just saying the N16 seems like N16 seems like you're playing on white strengths. But I think usually you try to play away from their strengths, because that shape with the diagonal N17 shape, that's a super strong shape.
Well, I think in this case, he thinks himself as a weak group, right? So when you're a weak group, you want to attach against strong groups, because then you're becoming stronger, and he's already strong, so it doesn't matter. I think his plan was something like this, right? He wanted to try something like this, I guess, but didn't quite work out. White was sharp and didn't just blindly follow a regular Joseki.
Yeah, that's
So he
right.
actually just Tenuki and took a nice move over here, which is a good point. Then Black feels it's unacceptable to die with this stone, so he comes out, and then well, you saw the game. We were a little bit ahead.
Oh, I see. He move out later on. Yeah, but then he gave up.
I was considering this one. I really don't want the two groups to connect. I think it's quite big, but Black had different thing in mind, and then because white is perfect now and with a lot of points, so I think it can be quite comfortable. So Black really needs to make somehow the last area he can make is the left side, right? There's no big territory that's going to happen at the bottom, most likely, and so to catch up a little bit in points, Black is going to have to make something nice on the left side.
That's true.
Goldave saying not that young. 14 and 15 is very young. So we can just jump ahead a little bit. Why is this not variation? So he plays here, which is interesting. Usually you see this move, right? Because it wants to follow up at f17. This is generally how you approach this corner. And most likely white will still defend. And then I don't know if he'll shoulder hit or try to take the points. Maybe white will play here. So he doesn't want black to descend like that.
Yeah, I think a white going out looks better, because the whole black group on top is is also unsettled yet.
Yeah, there is he did do the one space jump, which I mentioned before. So later there is this cut much later, but it's something to keep in mind that if ever white gets very strong in the center, then these two groups can be separate, and that can be a big problem.
Yes.
So he did come very close with a move like G17. Not sure how I feel about it, but and then white comes out with the Kosume. Okay, black keeps the pressure on, and he's trying to build what we talked about, the left side, right, which was kind of his win condition, or coming back and making all the territory. Because for being black, he doesn't have a lot of corner points, and he doesn't seem to have that much influence. It's like a flimsy potential shape over here. This one's normal.
Yeah. So
and then immediately shoulder hit. Wow. So white is definitely removing any possibility for a big moyo.
Yeah. Also, this area is I think it's a little bit painful for black, because black shape kind of
Mhm.
also have to be careful. Yeah. So
Yeah, if you have to be careful in the area that you're trying to make a lot of points in, it's not a good sign.
mm,
He just pushes and then he jumps out. So all this is normal, and then white really wants to settle this group. Good. Black is coming out, trying to cut the white stone. He'll defend, and then black defends. I'm not too sure about this defending. I guess he's trying to keep up the pressure on the white. Yeah, I guess it's big. He wants to keep the attack in the white corner. Push is big, yeah. Oh, and white gets Sente to come here. It's really hard to attack that corner because he can live locally whenever he wants. And he has a strong group waiting for him at the bottom, right? So I'm not sure what black accomplished. He lost Sente, but like this connect over here, it cost him Sente. And if you look at the end result, I'm not sure he gained all that much.
mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Sente is very big, but on the other hand, black also settled a group, and so I guess it's still doable.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Okay, you're worrying
now,
about that black group, yeah.
yeah, because the wedge you showed earlier, that can be very severe. It's
Right.
always have to worry about that sometime. But now, the whole group is safe, and then
Mhm. That's a good point.
white later on has to either play a move in the corner or do a connection outside. So yeah, so I still expect some good fighting in the mid game.
Mhm. But it feels a bit sad to me, right? So black was like thinking about moving. Maybe he could have defended and separated this like this with a move at R9 and then a running fight. But instead, he decided to take some advantage on the top, right? But what did he gain with all these stones? Like what is it?
Yeah,
Almost 15
that's true.
stones. He gained less than 10 points. It's like so he
Yeah,
gave up all this safety and points for white on the right, and the gain didn't really justify it. And he didn't make the very big left side like he might have
yeah.
planned or wanted to. So I think things are
I
not
think
going his way right now.
yeah, I think when I first look at G13, I also thought about the direction because I think we have some fans watching, and most of us are maybe Dan level or high Q level amateurs. So when I look at the G13, I can
Mhm.
understand he tried to get a big moyo on the left, but also we have to be careful with this kind of a direction because white can obviously jump to the direction, right? Like H15 area. And when
Yeah,
white go that direction and splitting black stones, so that stone can be like serving two functions, right? And usually
you
we
think
try
it's
to,
weakening a bit.
yeah, usually we try to avoid this kind of a shape, like like a going towards a group, and then when the
Mhm.
group get out, then your both sides got weaker.
Yeah.
So when I see that direction, I don't feel that very comfortable. But eventually you can tell the result. White basically get what he want and pressured black on top, and then it got Sente and got the shoulder hit and
So what are you thinking instead of G13?
yeah, I don't know exactly. Yeah, but I just feel like a G13 isn't
The
probably
wrong
isn't the
direction.
right direction. Because
That I'm
it's kind of pushing white to the direction that you are also weak. You have to spend at least one more move later.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe something like maybe he still have to be a little more patient, just waiting for a better opportunity.
Coming
Maybe
back and playing something safe like d9.
D9, yeah, I'm not sure about D9. But
I would
what
want
do
to be
you
more
think
aggressive.
like a E5 area, E5 or like
Yeah.
because this area eventually, right? If white come out, if for example D6 is sente move, and then all the two stone are becoming weak right away. So I think this area is also pretty urgent.
Hmm. But I
Yeah.
think you're covering a group that's like already alive, so white will immediately just
Right.
I don't know if attach here or do something to reduce this. Also, you're not actually gonna make any points. You might make a weak white group, but I don't know how weak it really will be because you can like play with both between both sides of black. It seems a
Right.
little bit too flimsy, so I'm not really sure
Right.
what
Yeah,
I would play as black over here.
I agree. It's also a go-to move, but maybe I'm a little more passive. I just want to,
Hmm.
uh, I want to also protect the two stone a little bit because the two stone later, if they also have to run out, then just black got too busy. But
Yes.
when you show e5, if
Hmm.
that move can be okay, then the h3 will be super big later on as a follow up.
Yeah, H3 becomes bigger because of that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So now maybe white take somewhere in the left, and then black take h3, and
Immediately.
then
Uh-huh.
he can gamble the territory in the bottom.
Try to make them.
Uh,
Yeah. Looks like it can
yeah.
be a good plan because if you get this one, I don't know, and then you get h3, and then white ignores again, then suddenly this move becomes very big. Is what you're saying. There's a lot of aji. So yeah, definitely white would want to answer at a move over here if that were the case.
Hmm.
Or there's some
Right.
cut. Maybe not. Maybe cutting is a little bit too much. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think going a little bit bigger might have been the way,
Hmm.
and then
Right.
at least trying to be a bit more ambitious maybe. But I did like his ambition in the game. Just it didn't pan out because he 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 never managed to be the first to come back and play the first move on the left, right? He like kind of lost his sente, his momentum over there.
Hmm. Yeah.
And maybe it's not that big
Yeah, but
to
I'm
say that
also a
honestly.
little surprised though. AI says why is it leading so much? Still, I feel like still
10,
early in the game, huh? It's already
10
leading by
points.
almost 12 points.
I think that's not that surprising because it's very good at settling, and already he broke all the left side, and I think the right side white got very big, and black didn't get the right compensation in return for that. So I can definitely understand
Yeah,
how AI likes his position. So maybe he should have gone for something bigger, and then white doesn't have the time to capture the stone, right, or something.
yeah,
He can start this, and then suddenly, if you are this feels a bit too deep now,
yeah,
or at least it will be a troublesome fight. It's not nearly as easy to settle as it was in the game. So
yeah,
maybe this might have been one strategy.
yeah. Also, I think if we do a little bit of analysis on the
Mhm.
right, right upper corner, so
Yeah.
black played N, like N16, and then later L16, and then later spin another move to right to get a goatee. So those
Hmm.
three moves are maybe a little over concentrated to just protect that group. And but
Yeah.
meanwhile, white's three moves probably got much more effective. Maybe that's why black is behind so much.
Right. So he
Think
chose
about
to save the three stones, and then once he chose to save them, he has to commit to saving them, right?
yeah,
So I don't know if there would be some better way.
yeah.
It's
See
very
like
surprising to me that White's move at Q14 is this good.
yeah, Q14.
It's very counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably some AI study, and he knew that
Hmm.
that's the vital point. Yeah, because I think Q14 may also be something the amateur can learn because one follow up is S14. We see this shape a lot, right? When you have the two stone like R16 and Q16,
Yeah.
then you do this clamp like pincer move, and then the S14 later become a good follow up for white because
Right.
yeah, and then it can totally separate black and make itself pretty strong. But
I'm
when
trying to think.
I just learned this move like a few months ago, but previously I don't even play this kind of move. Because it doesn't seem to be a good move. But later on I realized, oh, that it is a vital point for this kind of a shape.
And there's no really good way, because white will just allow you and then easily capture it, and you're capturing very small stones, right? White should be quite happy with this result. I think this was White's plan, and I don't see a much better way to connect. This is quite sad if you have to play something like this. So I definitely see Alex not wanting to do this. Definitely understand that. It's too submissive. But I am struggling to find a good move. Maybe just fight, but you're fighting against this group that it feels so strong, this white group. It doesn't feel like a lackluster wall that has no shape. After it got
Right.
after it has that 06 Atari, it feels so much better somehow. So I don't like this variation for black either. So I do struggle to find a good move for black here. Doesn't seem to be the way either. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Q14, definitely something I wouldn't have thought about.
Yeah, but I think Alex is also very good at endgame. But of course, Kevin, probably also very good at keeping the
Yeah.
lead. So
It's a very
we'll
big
see.
lead to come back with just endgame difference in skill.
Yeah,
If
because
you
usually you have to threaten a dragon, right, to come back. But with just regular endgame play, the 12 point is too big. Yeah. So
absolutely.
I agree.
So let's maybe you have anything else you want to look at, or we click forward a little, see what moves are played.
Yeah, sure.
So this is what happened at the top, and then okay, you settle like this. Yeah, a lot of people would just connect, but when you attach over here, you're making a bit more eye shape for yourself, right? So good choice by Alex for sure.
Yeah, I seen that move before. I think it's also in some of the study book, right? So yeah, so I think it's good one to memorize for amateur players.
Yeah, and White doesn't want to give him the push at B3, so he comes back and takes its points, and it's also keeping up the pressure on Black.
Yes.
And Black plays S17, and then comes back. Okay, guess he was worried about descending. Not sure entirely why. Not sure about the time, but yeah, H3 is a big move, and then
I think
White.
maybe he's planning some sort of a RG. Try to, because on the right area, white still have a little bit of RG. Maybe black
Okay.
somehow can
What?
utilize
Oh,
that.
with S615.
But I'm
I
not
don't.
saying he can make something happen. It's more like just benefit a few points in endgame somehow. Yeah.
Something like this. Um, or rather,
At least he can honey and cut.
there is something. There is something for sure.
Yeah, or maybe
So this does seem to possibly connect. But yeah, you lose a lot of outside. But it is interesting. I did not think about trying to save the R11 stone.
Right, not saving. Yeah, just use the RG, get something outside, and maybe he can
But
use that.
I think this saves it because I'm not sure. I mean, it's not. There's obviously this coal. Black would have to commit to playing this coal. But if he's able to, if he has enough coal threads, then he can connect like this. Even if it's rather. Oh wait, that's the water. Wait a minute. So the edge is even worse than I expected. It seems hard to kill cleanly. So this might be his plan. And if he does manage to move that stone, then White's points take a severe hit.
Oh yeah.
He loses a lot of points.
Yeah, so that they both have to be very careful with that variation. Yeah, and this also a test to the reading, right? Because in this area, kind of a lot of uncertainty. In order to be sure, you have to read a lot of variations.
The code is important because well, can you just descend? It might be difficult to live as Black. Complicated stuff. But definitely some very interesting and viable AGI. So I'm looking forward to see how Alex is going to do with that. But if we go back to the game, they each did their tiger mounts.
Yeah.
And then he peeked, connected.
He could also make it some sort of a sacrifice and get some forcing moves outside.
On the right side, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because
but those forcing moves is maybe if he has a big attack on the left group, right? Is what you have in mind?
Yeah, because right now the left side is not fully settled, so maybe later on something could happen. And I think although Alex like a settling game overall, his attack is also pretty strong. He can capture a dragon sometime. So so we have to also be careful.
Yeah, I struggle to see how this white group on the left is gonna get in trouble, because even black stones over here, they're not perfectly connected. Like black is not strong enough, maybe at the bottom, to pose a real threat. I think to white.
Right.
White seems to have a lot of room to maneuver all these weaknesses that it can exploit at some point. So I don't see this group getting in trouble. So saving the R11 stone would be huge points wise. It would really bring a balance back into this game. But according to AI, it's up to plus 15. So it looks like the game is slipping away from him.
Actually, a few moves ago, it was 10, but it jumped to 16.
So let's take a look at what happened. This is
okay.
The game. White came back. So black is putting the pressure on the white group, and white lived while taking points in the corner. And he starts his attack against this group. Interesting.
Yeah, I see that knight move is also a trade that may favor white. So the case for 13 because that's like a big investment, right? And then white get a corner. That corner is about
it's a lot of points.
8 points. Yeah, around close to 10. So I think Alex probably realized he has to make something happen. Otherwise, he probably will be very reluctant to have this kind of a trade exchange. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's not playing this to threaten to cut off the stone at M15. That's not a very important stone, right? So he's really trying to put pressure on the whole group. But if the whole group can just easily live while making some points, then And this move also puts a bit of pressure on the thinness in this black group.
Right. Actually, I'm surprised why Alex didn't get a corner or maybe try to get a bottom because
Jump in over here.
because he right now if he get a big point and then see what white is doing, white maybe if white get outside maybe Alex is happy, but if white try to take another big spot that but his group is a little weaker, maybe that can be complicated, a little more complicated.
Yeah, I can definitely see taking some big points at the bottom as being a nice move
Yeah.
to think about.
But I think for Kevin Young's move at the B16, that's something also we can learn. When you're leading comfortably, right, and you get a big like a B16 move, right? He basically he got a big point. Also, he got a more base to settle. That's like a no-brainer, right? You can almost never go wrong with that kind of move, like a B16. Yeah.
T11 and S8 sent it to live. I'm assuming this variation. S8. Oh, T11. Sorry. So you want to play here? Never mind. Ignored. Officially ignored. Harry Blob. But yeah, it seems like black can do something there, and now that the center is looking less and less important, it doesn't seem like either side are going to make a lot of points in the center. I can see this as being an interesting strategy for black, and then maybe the points are much closer. But he played here, and I got the corner, and he started this interesting attack. White just extends. Okay, I like this because he's fixing his aji at the bottom. But the white also finds a nice way. He doesn't just simply connect.
Yeah, I feel like these exchanges are a little too easy for white.
Oh, white doesn't connect there. He's going to peep first. Okay.
Hey guys, Devin here. I just want to briefly mention for chat's sake, everyone's sake, that the AI graph at the bottom right is only the current position of the live game. So
okay.
In case other people are wondering. All right, thanks.
Thanks.
The current position, not where we are at the review.
Right, exactly right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a very good point. I think I have a lot of fans watching the live score, and that's for the live game, not for the variations I play with Manu to demonstrate.
Right. So black is putting a lot of effort into this attack, but it looks like white doesn't look that weak, right? It helped black solidify his connection at the bottom, so that was good. And then if I am black, I don't know about continuing this attack like that. It doesn't seem like if I'm white, I can just fix or come into the bottom, and I'm not scared about dying in any way with this left group.
Yeah, I agree. Because white almost have a Sente eye on the left, and then and then it's very easy in the middle.
So he
maybe here. Do you think? What do you think of the P5? Because this stone, usually you wouldn't think connecting it, but now P5, then you kind of see if white can go deep in the bottom. Also, when you connect P5,
I don't want to connect P5.
Yeah,
I think
but now you
even if
try
he
to get the
answers, it
bottom.
fixes the Agi, right? Let's say
Yeah,
he picks
now
it
the
up.
Agi may get a little worse for white, and then also you can get, if you get a chance to get bottom, it's a little bigger when you connect that stone. Yeah,
Right.
that's
I'm not. If you're playing something like this, you're kind of abandoning almost any Agi with the R11 stone, and that seems like a lot of points. I'm not ready, I think, to
yeah.
give up on that stone just yet. I don't think White's gonna hurry to capture at P5.
Hmm.
So I personally don't see it as something interesting, but my judgment,
Yeah.
especially compared
Maybe
to
right
AI.
now black just have to focus on how to uh, how to make some things happen on the right side, because there is a little bit of a Agi.
So White pushed over here, and then Black didn't just stop
Yeah.
from getting Hane on the head. Is there some cut? I'm not saying. I guess he doesn't want to come out like this. That makes a lot of sense. His groups look like a mess now. So that's very sad. He was supposed to be attacking White,
Yeah,
but
now he got counter. Yeah, so it's very hard for black. We can also imagine black. Earlier black want to get a lot of points on the left, but now his groups got split, and then none of the group have big points at all.
so he
So
does
that.
come back and play N4.
Mhm.
So he knows that his group is not. He's not worried about his group at all, and
Yeah.
he got some nice exchanges, I think, because he also reduced the eye shape of Black's group. Black really has no points, in my opinion. I'm really struggling to see where Black's gonna make up the points, let alone Comey.
Yeah.
So it's not easy, and there's gonna be some Hanes here. White might actually end up making some points in the center with a group that was supposed to be weak and under attack. This is gonna be tough. This is big. And attach here. What is this move? If Hane crosscut, then like this. It looks bad for White. So we're gonna just extend? No. Oh, we're gonna Hane on this side. Well, that seems acceptable. We can give up that much because we're looking to make the points on the left side of that stone, anyways, to give a base and to give more points to that, to give more strength to the bottom left group. And White just connects.
Yeah, I
So
think this area, yeah, they're going to play a few moves, but this area is not that big overall. Even capture the G2 stone
yeah,
is worth about 12 points. Very big.
the G2 zone.
Yeah, I think
Um,
this is another thing I learned from many teachers, that sometimes you try to get territory on the side, but
yeah,
the side, right, sometimes not as effective as corner. So you play a move, sometimes it's only like 15 points. Yeah, but end game capture a stone sometimes is like 12, 13 points.
right. It's easy to underestimate the value of some endgame moves for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So
For
there's
example, another example, like if you look at the S17 stone,
yeah,
the upper corner, right? That stone is huge, right? If
yes,
that capture, I think that capture is easily 15 points plus. Yeah. And
especially because it involves a lot of agi, and Black's
Aju,
gonna show
yeah,
us a bit of that sequence now in the game. So he actually comes
yeah,
here, and White doesn't do this. Why wouldn't he play here? I would have played like this for sure. Interesting. I'm not sure what white was thinking. Do you see?
Yeah,
How would you play?
I think I think you showed it correctly because uh, white can definitely sacrifice a 4 stone on top and get
Mhm.
a get a corner.
Even if
So
he's afraid of this kind of, he doesn't want that. He can always RTR on this and take a point loss. It's painful, but I would actually just capture this stone.
oh yeah, that's like a standard play. Yeah,
And
or
you're
maybe you
fixing
want
all
to
the
show that
RG.
slowly to the fans because we see this move a lot,
Mhm.
like R18. You have to be careful. Some fans, if they don't be careful, they become a call. But if they play R19, there's nothing.
Uh, yeah, there can be this one where you try to save this stone somehow, but then very painful call. Suddenly, white is fighting for his life over here, where black is not taking almost any burden. So
Hmm.
this is scary for white. Yeah. And then
Yeah,
if you just capture, there is also this ko, and then if black wins this ko, it's very difficult. So it's very tough for white to play this
yeah.
kind of
I think
ko.
for the like maybe one down one kill level, they want to memorize this shape because it is nowadays, right? It happens a lot.
Yeah,
So
these days this is Joseki is always happening in the corner. So yeah,
yeah,
it's something you didn't really used to see much in the past.
right.
Oh, actually, wait, can you still do this? No, that doesn't make sense. Never mind. That's complete nonsense. Ignore me. So yeah, so this is a way that you live cleanly, but you lose some points in the corner. So you accept that you're gonna lose some points, but the
Hmm.
life is very secure for white.
Hmm.
But I would have just given up the 3 stones because black's group is already alive. I don't think the 4 stones at N18 are all that important, and he has to do this. And I think in this game, white is more comfortable
Oh
because there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
ag
Because
with.
it makes it much easier. Then you don't have anything on the right side. Yeah,
Mhm.
and black only take about like what around 15 points, so it's not big
Mhm.
deal.
Yeah. He's also breaking some of white, so maybe a little bit more. But white is making some as well over here. These were not white points before. Not to mention the ag with R11.
Hmm.
So that might have been one way. So, but he chooses this way,
Yeah.
and he goes. What is this? But why would you?
So now I'm
Wait.
thinking kind of a theory.
Hmm.
Back, many games when white is pressing the but black's upper group. Remember, what black has to play like a one defensive move and got a goatee. So I'm thinking maybe black should do the testing earlier on the corner because had white giving up the 4 stone like this shape, then black
Hmm.
can play Tanuki uh, early on. So maybe that was a better timing. And
Yeah, I suspect.
go ahead.
Before he settled all this at the top.
Right.
Yeah,
Somehow
it
need
is hard to find the
do a little
timing,
more
correct
testing
timing.
there. Yeah.
I must say I've never really seen this choice that you so cleanly give up. It feels a strange way to give up the stones, if I may say
Right.
so.
Actually, I'm still not sure why black didn't play S15 because S15 is a very
No.
common, way to play in this shape. And then you got the Aji, or you can also play the Ko. And white is almost have to connect shortly. And then, you
White
know,
white will white will probably capture. I think here.
mhm. Yeah, I think that this will be a
Timing.
better way for black because, even the right side, the points white lost, I think it's as many as the worth of the 4 stone on top.
You make this exchange and then just capture and then connect. And then white comes and gets P2. It's not a big deal. You can capture the 4 stones in Sente, but you lose the stone at S 217, which it's a painful loss to swallow, I guess, because you want to come back and fix anyway. So it would be Gote. Endgame's hard. We have guys in chat saying that the game of Eric and Remi is on fire, so we might want to switch and see what's going on over there.
Yeah, sure.
See where we left them off.
Sure.
So
I
we
think
left them
for the winners group,
Mhm.
game 1, the Alex, Kevin, their game is mostly end game, and we don't see complicated fights anymore.
No huge weaknesses left, yeah.
Yeah. So those little points, 1 point here, 2 points there, can get people bored pretty quickly.
Boring, but a very important part of the game. Unfortunately,
Yes.
not something I enjoy too much myself, but very, very important part if you want to play at the higher level like these guys are playing at.
Yeah, I think some people definitely study that more.
So black first limits white's potential a little bit at the top with the attach. Then he comes back and tries to build his own here at the bottom. I'm thinking maybe white will attach over here. No, seems not. He just jumps in the corner, playing very simple. Oh, he's happy to take all those points. Yeah, very nice way. And then with this, maybe now the stone at N10 is looking better because it's not that easy to make a huge center. But still, it looked very slow. Immediately reducing. Okay. I might just answer, even if this is something you see in the Japanese books and it's hardly ever played nowadays. I don't think black has one good move to fix. I don't really see black playing something like that. I think there's still a lot of Aji left to exploit. I think C7 is quite big. Maybe. What do you think?
C7. Yeah, I agree. I usually, I think in many cases that's a little slow, but in this case, obviously black want to build the left side, and and that's a critical
If
move.
you can get that move in center, yeah.
Right. I think sometimes jumping is also okay. I think
As white?
I've seen AI. No, for white jumping as to C8. I think I saw AI suggesting that move sometimes.
I always struggle with this one because this looks so painful.
Yeah, but I think it's only some subtle difference though. Yeah.
Like when black comes here, or you come here first, and then what would be the right way to do this? So you don't really want to come back and play this one, right? Maybe.
Yeah, it's a nice meta point. But we also have to make sure.
It's something you always have to keep in mind when
Yeah.
you play the one space. I have seen the one space jump before, but it's quite technical, and you can't forget about this placement that black has for sure. The white comes here, limits. Blacks get that sente attach.
Yeah, maybe you want to
then,
show a few more moves to some players because they may wonder what if white blocks.
About the one
seems
space jump?
okay. No, about your placement and then white connect.
Yeah. So right now it's okay because
Because
you're not going to crawl in
there's
a
a
second.
sequence. Yeah, because he push and cut, and then the black stone has many more liberties, and then the agi will be horrible outside for white. Yeah, so I think sometimes some player may not realize they can exchange that cut right away. Yeah.
So black is not going to try to save these stones right away, but he can kind of make some center exchange almost, and then maybe white is losing the initiative a little bit just to capture those 2 stones. So it's definitely a specialty move and something you have to keep in mind, which is the reason why the more common and safe move is generally taught in books is over here. And if you want to go for that extra 1 line, you have to really know what you're doing.
Yeah. I think in this position, it's also a big test to the understanding the territory, counting, because both black and white has a lot of potential, and then so you have to know if you're okay or you are leading comfortably, right? Then you know how deep you want to go. I'm referring to white's next move. I think he played a K8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that move looks like simple, but that's can be one of the most
judgment.
complicated,
How
hard, yeah,
deep do
very
you
hard
go,
judgment, because how deep you want to go, right? Yeah, it can be
I
very
would
hard.
definitely go deeper. I think I'm quite strong with the white stones over there at the.
Right, but I think he's thinking if we go deeper, then if he got counter, he also lose some potential on top. Maybe that's why he doesn't go deep. He just want to, reduce your potential, and he also got some more potential upper side, and but again, the judgment, right? It all depends on counting.
So it cannot be cut off like this with just a cap over here because this connects very easily for white. This shape, black cannot. He has too much algae
Right.
to cut this off. So he would probably have to separate like this, and I don't see this stone ever being in trouble because you are so thick, and black has so much algae with the peeps against the cutting thing. So I would have gone deeper for sure, but Remi is definitely a more cautious player than me. I've definitely gotten myself in trouble on many occasions. Don't stop believing.
Yeah, I heard that's your style, right? You are more, you like maybe fighting a little bit more. Yeah.
I definitely like to push the
Remi is
envelope
more
a little
steady.
bit. Yeah. Well, being steady helps you in these kinds of situations where you have to win many games and you can't afford, oof, it's painful when you have to play this kind of empty triangle. And Remi says, oh, I can go deeper. Thank you very much. It's very painful. If you're cutting off someone like this, something is going wrong.
Oh yeah, this move. Actually, I talk about this type of move, like the jumping inside.
Yeah.
With my teacher. Sometimes we discuss this kind of move, because this move is very good, because I think many amateurs may think about running away first, but going inside is actually more painful for black, because
Yes.
because black now has almost no way back, right? It only has, because not only they reduce you, but also they break all your points, and now you only have one way, which is to kill.
Right, and it definitely seems basically unkillable. This group so
Yeah.
open, so many weaknesses to lean on around
Yeah.
H4.
So I'm a little surprised actually black allows this happen to him,
Yeah.
because this position definitely not looking good for black. Also the shape, you see the empty triangle shape.
Yeah.
That's not yeah. That's not very.
You wanna cut in this way when you have a very severe attack against the group, right? Like even if he comes from
Right.
here, like what are you gonna do? Oh, it's quite bad. But the attack doesn't look severe enough to justify this bad shape.
Right.
Oh, and he's just peeping.
Also, that group, he have to make sure he doesn't get in close. Otherwise, when the liberty is short, there's a snack back later on at 07. But yeah, but not to worry about right now. Yeah, but
Right.
later there's some algae.
Something like this. Later if he has no liberty, but it's going to be hard to lose all those liberties, I guess. So he's not too worried about that. He does do all the peeps to make the group as heavy as possible, and then Tenuki is to attach at the top. Wait, capture like this?
So I think the audio seems not very stable right now.
Okay. Is it on your end or people in chat? I don't see anyone in chat complaining about the audio.
But again, like just something kind of like side story. I shared the pictures with a friend of mine, and she also played a protest tournament in China before, and
Okay.
she told me, "Oh, the tournament is very well run. Even like most of the boards have a recorder. That's like a very big deal.
Right.
So I feel quite flattered. Also, just the example of how this tournament was well planned, and also, I think again, it's great experience for for people who active study Go. You definitely want to come to the protest next year.
Yeah. So they definitely did a good job, and it was for the NAGF. So in the past, it's been the AGA that was running it, right? So it's the first time the NAGF, which from what I've heard is a lot of the same people, but still it's a different organizing system. So I think for the first time they're doing a good job, and yeah, maybe in the future they'll do more on the commentary side. But for now, we have Devin and
Yes.
people showing up, and it's pretty cool.
Also, I think in case some people concerned about the safety, we do the COVID testing
Yeah.
before the game, and everybody have to wear masks all the time. Also, even the people watching also have to wear masks all the time. So again, I don't see why we can't have 30 people coming, to the tournament next time, because I know a
Well,
lot of
30%
five
protest
dan,
is
six dan, right, players.
yeah, they would have liked to come. Okay, cool.
Yes, great.
I think this is what Black is aiming at over here, Eric. But he doesn't quite have the liberties yet, so he's trying to find this move, but it fails just at this moment. So that's why he plays here, and then White comes back and fixes. So White made all the top clean catch, and I guess Black is going to play here. Oh, I would definitely play there. Maybe he's waiting to keep a bit more IG for later. It seems very annoying for White to answer this move. Maybe like this, or like this. Doesn't seem easy to answer this move, and it seems very important point. So let's see what Black played instead. He cut. Okay. And if White goes out, what is his plan? Wow. So yeah, being very aggressive is Eric. Difficult to read out these sequences, especially they must be coming close to Byoyomi or already in Byoyomi, so it's not something you want to be reading out.
They start at usually 9:30 sharp, so now it's 2.5 hours. Yeah, so everybody have an hour and 15 minutes. So now it's about time to start Byoyomi.
But it seems rather simple for White.
Yes.
So it's more just trying to get some forcing moves against these stones in the center, and then use that to attack the bottom White group, which after all those peeps looks heavy. So if White gets a lot of stones, something like this, could be interesting. Could be interesting how it goes out. Let's see what happens in the game. So he doesn't want to do the extra pushes just yet. He might want to do from a different direction later. So yeah, that's a good choice. And Black should have.
Yeah, I kind of like Black's tactics because yeah, he definitely left a lot of possibility for himself. But White has to be super careful everywhere.
Yeah. So he has 4 liberties to play with, while threatening the center White stones. So yeah, I don't want to say White's in trouble, but
Yeah, I think yesterday when Eric was trying to break Alex Moyo, he also
Mhm.
did a few sequence like this. He was kind of testing moves here and there
Mhm.
and leave some agi. And I think Eric has a very good talent on this type of moves.
Yeah, so White's top was looking quite big, but Black got a lot of moves on the outside, and now it looks like it could be a nice reduction. Especially Black is going to get the end game at D18 while squeezing in later. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it looks difficult for White now to settle that group suddenly. So let's go back and see what very interesting attach from Black. And did Remi maybe get carried away trying to capture that one stone? The center seems important. With your weak group at the bottom, you don't want to give too many free moves. And you're
That's
very
true.
thick. You already captured the stones at 016. So all your groups are connected, they're alive. Maybe the points at the top are not that crucial. I wonder if this might have been a better choice. And it's still not clear how Black can settle cleanly. There's still a lot of work to do before Black can come back.
Hmm.
And you can come back and take the stone later. This might have been a
Yeah, so I
better
agree.
choice.
Actually, if we look at the big picture, it seems a lot of points on top, but white is already super strong on the right upper
Mhm.
side, and then so even black break the top, it's just about 15 points. It's not that big a deal. Also, the left side is also very strong for white. I mean the left
Yes.
upper. Yeah, so
Right.
he
It's
probably
completely
want
alive.
to keep the head out.
He can also capture the stones at R15 whenever he wants in Gote. So and I haven't found a better sequence for that, so maybe the only thing.
I think the audio is a little breaking up a little bit.
It might be
Yeah,
just
but
on
I
your
think
end
in this
because
type of position, the thickness in the middle is crucial, right? Because both have
yes,
some
because you do, as white you don't want to get in
unset.
trouble.
Mhm.
So I think yeah, maybe black did well to find something here, and yeah, this could move connect. It doesn't look easy. Was there something else it could have done? No, there's a ladder for that. Yeah, maybe Remy focusing a little bit too much on points here and finding himself in trouble. But let's see how he settles his group. So he captures that one stone, and we're back to the live game. If we just quickly count the points,
Yeah, I think the audio. Let me see. It seems like the audio is breaking up a little bit. Maybe see who are let's see who are asking some questions.
from what Chad said, the audio was fine, and the audio is fine on my end. So it might be some lag that you're experiencing.
Okay, maybe the sound is okay now, but it was breaking up a little bit.
Hmm. Oh wow, Remy's confident enough.
But
So if Remy
I guess
manages to
just
live, Mhm.
in case we have some people coming, during the lunch.
What was that? Oh, I'm losing. We are losing you a little bit. So maybe on your Wi-Fi, there's too many people. Remi's throwing. It's okay. Remi's only throwing according to AI. We can't read like AI, so it's not easy to kill. Just extend like this for black. Interesting. Now white. Remi should find a way to live, which is not so easy. Very easy to die here as white. You're completely shut in, right?
Yeah, I think usually in this kind of a settling, you have to be aiming black group's weakness
Mm-hmm.
to get right to get some idea. Otherwise, if you just play yourself, it's hard to make two eyes. But technically, white doesn't have even one eye right now
Mm-hmm.
because black can pull out that stone if necessary. Yeah.
Should white have been aiming at this one first? I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't know if black is gonna connect so passively. He's gonna capture so passively. He might try to counterattack, but
Oh, I also see Devin, but I'm not sure. Devin, you want to do a quick recap of what we're doing in case we have some people joining later this morning?
Hey guys. Yeah. So I mean, I think Manuel and I might carry it to the end if he still has some energy and time. And then I know you said you have to leave here shortly. But I'll let you guys wrap up however you want, and then I'll jump in your place if that works. So.
Great.
Remi, Tanja's saying Remi played a red move. Red moves are good. Red moves mean the AI actually considered it. I play a bunch of moves that the AI never considered. There are worse things than red moves.
So Devin, is that my internet slow or you both experience some slowness?
I'm not having any problems on my end, and the chat seems to be fine, so it might be the Wi-Fi on your end. So yeah, it's looking tough for white. So he takes the eye, he takes the one eye, and he'll find the second eye. I don't think he'll die, but it can get very big.
Yeah. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, you're back. I think there must be some way to seal this for black. You don't want to just push from behind and push him into your potential territory.
Yeah. By the way, a side story in case
Mm-hmm.
you guys can hear me okay. Maybe my internet is slow.
Yeah, your internet is lagging a little bit. So I think
Oh, okay.
what the AI is seeing is that black might be able to make a rather
it's
large
better.
upside. We lose you. You're a little bit on and off.
That's okay. Maybe we'll just say goodbye to Edward here, and then I'll jump in and we can do that from there.
Sure. Take care, Edward. Nice to see you. Nice. We might have lost you, but nice performance. It didn't exactly work out, but you had a lot of nice games, and you're rather close.
True. All right, let's update the. Oh, I am live. Okay, cool. I'm here. I've been messaging some people all morning, seeing get some other cool commentators lined up. huge thanks, like you said, to Edward for coming on, and also, yeah, I mean, I'll say thanks again at the end, but Manuel, thanks for reaching out to me and doing this so late. And I mean, it's been cool. So I've been
Well, I
watching.
was staying up to watch anyways, so
Right.
why not just
Right.
jump in? So Black plays a very aggressive move with f6, so he's really trying to kind of going for the kill over here. What can White do? What's a good way to live? He's not just living; he has to live in without giving Black too much on the bottom or send it to make more points on the left. What do we think?
Yeah, actually, so I've missed a bit of this here. Maybe you can just give me a quick, brief recap of what's going on, and
Right.
yeah.
So Remi was actually rather conservative with the way he jumped in, so it looked all good, and a very, very crude way to cut from Black. And Remi chose to go in even a little bit deeper. And then Eric had a very interesting idea. Well, first he made everything very heavy, so he does PP to try and take some, which makes sense because, especially this peep, he doesn't want to give, whatever, he doesn't want to give White this free move, right? That he basically has to answer, and then White's shape is looking a lot better. So I do like his peep in this case. And maybe White should have started with it, even though Eric would probably counterattack. Eventually, he has to come back and fix this, most likely. So possibly he should have started with this, but I'm not entirely sure. So he tries to he does all these exchanges to make White heavy, and then he starts all the way at the top. So he's playing this move, but he's still thinking about attacking this White group. And maybe Remi lost sight of that a little bit because
Interesting.
He focused maybe a little bit too much on the top points, and came up with this interesting variation. No. So he came up with this interesting variation where Remi gives all the points at the top secure, but it's only fourth line territory, which, considering White's thickness, is not that it's nice, but it's nothing special. And then he cuts here because he knows he's gonna die with that group at the top. He doesn't win this Liberty race, but he's using all these free moves against the stones in the middle to start his attack on the bottom White group. And it doesn't look easy, to be clear. So a very interesting and possibly successful attack from Eric. He's just peeping error. Remi even comes and turns here.
Yeah. So Eric purposely kind of giving up stuff on the top and distracting Remi in a way, helping to kind of bring out his other key group. Oh my gosh, interesting.
Well, he gave up, but he didn't really give up that much, right? Because the top was mostly White's anyways, and now White has to come back and capture these. So actually, the Hane at D18 would be Sente for Black, so that's a pretty big endgame. And then if he doesn't get that one, he has a choice, right? Do I take the points at D18? Do I get some free moves against this group? You're not going to win the race. You're not going to win the race against this group, but you have to think that Black has 4 liberties over here. Black has 4 liberties, so White's going to have trouble invading the left side because he cannot really connect back to these White stones because he always has to watch out for his liberties, and that's ignoring the whole problem of trying to settle the bottom group. So White seems rather busy. It might be a good time to count because of course we have to assume that White lives at the bottom, and that let's say Black gets these points over here. Let's assume White lives and Black gets these points, something like this. That's not even alive yet. Wow, something like this. Okay. And we'll give a quick count. So I don't know, how would you count usually the game?
How would I count?
How do you count?
Yeah, typically I try to kind of count by threes.
3 as well.
to get. Yeah, if I'm trying to count quickly, yeah. If I'm trying to be serious, twos, but I usually never count kind of by one. I'll always try to somehow speed up the count. Is that what you're asking, or are you?
Yeah, no, that's what I was asking. I generally count in twos. I know some modern people are like some modern thought is like counting in big boxes. Like they train themselves to like count and recognize shapes. Like, oh, this is an 8, and this is. They're counting very quickly like that, because the time settings have become so much faster compared to programs 50 years ago or whatever, even 20 years ago. So counting very quickly has become very important. But yeah, still many people count twos. Many pros count by twos, so it's still very cool. So what people are thinking, you just
one of the things I do.
Go ahead.
One of the things I need to do better for counting is doing kind of like once I count an area, remembering that exact score for later, so I don't have to count it again. And I keep my games, I'll kind of count the whole board, but I won't count areas and add them together. And then it means I have to recount every single time, which isn't great. So.
Yeah. So if you, I do the same. I also don't remember to count individual areas.
Okay. Yeah. Even for at your level. Okay. Good.
So if I'm counting over here, white's over here, so I'll like count these two as one, and then I'll count these two as one, and then as the capture stone will also be one. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like this. So we'll just quickly count white if other people want to do a little exercise at home.
Yeah, let's do it. Try and count.
So I'm only getting about 60 for white. I'm ignoring the fact that he can possibly capture this group. So probably what I should be counting is like half the points over here. So let's say it's more closer to like 67, and then we'll give him Comey, so he'll be like at 73.
73. Then chat's saying 66 was Comey. Yeah, very close.
No, chat's saying white. Oh, okay, 66 is Comey. Yeah. That sounds about right. So, 73. I was getting something like that. Depends how you count this potential capture. People have very conservative counting. I like to count half of something I have a 50% chance of getting. But as long as you're consistent in the way you count for all the other things, it should equal out about more or less the same. And then if we take a look at black. So black has about 30, 33, but you're not including anything on the left side. So you tell yourself that black has to make about 40 on the left side, which is a lot.
Yeah. It looks like, according to the graph and chat's reaction, that things are going wild again. So I just incredible that there's so much action in one game. But yeah, I think it's good. I mean, to pause and count. Chat, don't get too ahead of yourselves, right? We're Go players here. Counting's a key part of the game. But obviously we got to expect that our potential future pros here are definitely doing a lot of counting to make some decisions, but they're also looking for some aggressive stuff. So
pushed here, cut, capture. Oh, this does look like a recipe. So by trying to make sure that white never gets an eye, he allowed his entire group in the center to be cut off.
Wow.
Incente. He has to come back and fix this. Wait, how did he? Like this, I guess. This looks messy, to say the least.
Yeah, Clausius thinks it looks like two bots. Also, shout out to Clausius for suggesting adding the AI graph. He reached out to me, and we're just having a manual. Jay's manually transcribing it, so also big thanks to Todd J for doing that. But
squeezing right away.
Yeah.
So, what are we looking at over here that can capture all this?
Oh my gosh.
Is he looking at? Is it some exchange where you capture, but then you lose a top? What happened in the actual game? Oh, he tried to live with everything. Wait, that doesn't seem possible. Is it? White has a lot of liberties, right? I'm not sure what black is seeing after this.
Yeah, black can't cut. I mean, they can try and cut, but white has more liberties than black, so there's kind of no way, right?
He's looking at that this white group also doesn't have that many liberties.
Okay, that white group can just capture the black stone and be.
If we look at white's
happier.
group, he has 5 liberties right now.
Okay.
Something like this.
So black's looking to maybe live in there, which would be, is that the goal? And then no, I only see one eye for black, right?
This is gonna end badly for one. I don't see. Wait,
Yeah.
How does the AI graph say it's plus 0.2? How can this possibly be true?
Yeah, sorry, Pee-wee, or PIWH. I understand, obviously, like modern Go is all about the AI. So we got, we want to include it for those that care. Maybe put a little sticky note on your screen to cover it up. You can't see if you don't want to see it. But I guess, yeah, really at the end of the day, should we even trust the AI graph? Because what is going on here? How can this be possibly the situation we think it is?
What are we looking at?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's leave the hard work to
1, 2, 3.
and you're all trying to figure it out. What's happening here?
It looks like
Marty Pop, the hot takes.
Black cannot play here because he has a liberty shortage, right?
Oh, white. Yeah. White can't.
White, sorry. So he has to take first, and then he doesn't have time to take this one, because then he'll lose this one.
Oh.
So he has to take and then play this ko, but there's no ko threats for this. Wait, is this a ko threat? No, this is.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. There's no ko threats big enough. Yeah, reading. Oh no, reading. Wow.
Let's think back with the game. So now Remi's taking his time. He's using all his Byoyomis, right?
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah. There's nothing more important than figuring out exactly how to make this work well. Huh. This is nutty.
If he plays from here.
Simple trade, no biggie. Yeah, just a couple, 50-point trades, whatever.
No, this is not the way.
I was here. You know what's crazy about this too is, just looking at the graph, but also from our experiences watching these games with Eric, just classic comeback king.
Sorry.
And no, you're fine. And also just the Remi's kind of hardcore fighting perspective and his critical reading. Tanjay mentioned in chat, Remi was doing literally for the past week just endless Sumigo in preparation, so we know he's kind of he's up to date on his mental game. But yeah, unfortunate for Remi, as chat's saying. He added one in the bag, but winning a one game is actually very hard, especially against Eric. So. Now this is the game. Okay.
No, I'm just clicking out some variations.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Can't connect now either. Oh, this is a big mess. The swings, the AI graph swings are going to be messy if someone plays a single mistake in this.
Right.
So he's starting from here, which is probably correct. And then if black connects, he doesn't have enough liberties. He has to play this call. He's behind by 1. So the call has to be played.
Okay, so black can't connect. It's going to be a ko.
And then white can't come back and capture the M15 stones either.
Wow. Michael's wondering if white can avoid the ko. It doesn't look like white can really avoid it.
Can't white avoid the ko. I don't see how. Unless he can gain a liberty somewhere. I haven't looked at if white can gain a liberty here.
Yeah, Clausius, you're exactly right. We were looking at earlier F17 being the move to can actually kill the entire top right, but you can capture the stick of stones, at the little blob at R15 area. But black can kind of pivot and live small in the corner. But it's not critical at the moment. So obviously we have bigger things. Interesting. Okay, black's going for the exactly as we thought, slightly different.
So starting from the outside, good.
Starting from the outside, yeah.
White can't really gain a liberty, so it looks to me like it's going to be the ko.
Yeah.
He takes the ko. Black just takes. Black will just take a liberty.
Yep. White
cannot play like this. He doesn't have enough. He has to get answer. So he will lose if he tries to play without playing the ko. So he captures the ko, and then it's white. He blocks. He has to take a liberty, and black has to take a liberty.
Yep.
And then he has to play the ko, and he has to find it.
Ko threat big enough, and there's just no way. Oh my gosh. So Eric is looking good in this situation. I mean, what could white possibly threaten? I mean, to your point, white might threaten the M2 move and just do a big trade. I mean, I think that feels reasonable.
And that could have been the funny shape, the funny M3 move that could have just been a solid connect at N3 might end up being like a game changer. Because black could have just as easily connected at N3.
Man, yeah, if black is just connected,
white really would have no ko threat.
Yep.
G5 is a mistake.
Oh, really? Red move down by 5. It feels the same to me, but I guess
I don't see
probably missing something. Don't ask me. Yeah, no one knows. No one knows.
Wow. So he's gonna have to play something like this.
Dude, again, this is these are some of the best matches I've literally ever watched in Go. This whole tournament, people have been playing in
it's
the
so
most
sad.
interesting games.
White never got the chance to eat the stones at R15.
No. You're right. Yeah, this is how that goes then. Wow.
Oh, and then you might have to. You really want to save these stones, but then this is Sente against the white group. Oh god.
Yeah.
And then we would have to count from here.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Whole new game to count from.
Let's just stick around and see how they play it, or maybe I want to jump in and see what's going on Eric's game board, but so exciting with this huge ko, right?
Right. Like on the edge of my seat, like wanting to see how this actually resolves before we go on, because the game's going to continue for quite a bit. It looks like. Oh.
He plays this now.
Okay. All right.
It's so exciting.
Golden Age of American Go. Yeah, Buck Kidden, it really is. And yeah, Sarah T, we have an amazing commentator with us today, Manuel. And again,
I think Black has to ignore this. It's rather small.
Yeah. Relative to the rest of it, has to be small.
Maybe it would require more counting. We would have.
Well,
to
the problem
count
is, too, both players are in Bayomi, so like, how much counting can you really even do? I mean,
right.
At this point, they have to just kind of rely on their intuition, I guess.
The Bayomis are rather long. How long is the Bayomi?
Bayomi is actually quite long, a whole minute, so 60 seconds. Player cams would definitely be cool. Gooplet did a really good job trying to get together some stuff, but couldn't quite manage to get the player cams ready for the physical space. A little bit difficult to getting them ordered. So hopefully we'll have that in the future. Yeah. And again, Manuel, you have continued a love on chat. I mean, you.
Yeah, I see Benjamin. Hi, Benjamin. It's been a while. Yeah. So why fight when you're ahead when you can count? Oh wow! So he answered.
He did.
What?
The fact that they're playing away from this kind of co and just duking it out in the top right is mind-boggling to me.
White
maybe
thinks he cannot play this co. He thinks M2 is not big enough, I guess. So he thinks killing, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that judgment.
Yeah, bias was a good point. If the co is decided, why play it? So, but this game definitely not decided. I mean, again, the great thing about these games is even if someone is up by 20, and you just think, oh, there's no way. I mean, I've watched swings happen endlessly. So while these players are both very, very strong, they're not infallible. So, always looking for what's possible. That's key.
I think in this situation, I'm putting the stones. It's not the actual game.
No, good. Yeah, go ahead.
But probably we need to count to see who's winning because White took a big corner, but that's a huge loss at the bottom side, right? But on the plus side, White's capturing at L13 the co is kind of sensei.
Yep.
So assuming Black commits, it doesn't want to co. Black committed to killing. So Black lost a lot of forcing moves against the center H13 stones. So he has a lot less potential on the left side than he otherwise had before.
Right.
So it does look like, and rather than counting, we're just going to judge. We're going to let the AI. So we'll, so Black does kill. No, he didn't playing this co.
No, they're doing this co. Well, and I think chat made a good point that really if White can resolve the right side in a favorable way, then White can get enough liberties in that kind of big middle group to approach the Black group, without having to win the co.
Young is here trying to whisper some variation into my ear.
Do you see the secrets?
R2 is, you mean R18 maybe? R18 kills? I don't see. Just connect. I don't know. You mean this move?
No.
Different. All right, it's a different situation. Back to the game. Wait. What? They played the co, and he connected here.
Mm-hmm.
And where's connected? Wait, what?
Chad has a great sense of humor here. Black played away. Oh my gosh.
No. Wait, this could. Wait. Oh no, it doesn't work. No, sorry. Ignore me. Forget it. He didn't play away, but connected, and that fixes. Oh, he can fix like this. Sorry, that's a lot better.
I see. Now white still can approach.
So so white can approach. So 1, 2. Black still has 4 liberties because white has to spend a move over here, and that does make a big difference because it does mean he still has the agi of squeezing the center stones. So that's very sharp on it. Very good way to fix L13. And then he's just getting his endgame with a centi move at D18. Oh, sorry, it's going back to the game. White defends, and then he takes points on the left.
Right. I mean, because it is such a close game, I guess, both players have kind of maybe got a quick score estimate themselves and said, hey, this trade, is happening, but still what's going on the rest of the board? Like, we can't let up. Like earlier, it looks like, Remi kind of played some slack moves or something and wound up in this position. And so now it's back to the cutting edge. So they're.
Yeah. I definitely would have gone with the M2 cold thread. That the top right just seems rather small. Right. But maybe, like you said, he's in Biomi. It's harder to count the M2 trade because when you start counting M2, you have to recount everything from 0 because all the territories switch. While as you're only counting the top right, you have a lot of the territories already counted for black at the bottom and your right. So maybe it's the only thing he was able to count, and he counted that it's close enough that he'll have a chance in endgame. So that might have been his thinking, which is unfortunate. He's just so very big. This is not Sente.
Yeah, and chat's noticing, maybe if you haven't announced it yet, Kevin did win the other game by resignation. Obviously Alex had a great opening position, but Kevin, the machine, favorite to win this tournament, is definitely continuing to hold his own. So, no surprise there. It'll be exciting to pop back over and look at that. But I'm having a tough time tearing myself away from the Eric Remi game. So, but we'll follow whatever you want to do, Manuel. If you do want to pop over, you have control. But this is an incredible match.
Here. He played E18, but it's not Sente. Surprisingly, so it's quite big, I think, to get C13. I think White is probably happy about this result.
Yeah, E18 is strange. What's Black thinking there? A little bit of a slip, maybe, or?
In my opinion, because it can be a big move. Let's say White comes here and you answer, but anyways, White has to come back and capture these center stones, these top black stones, because of this White group over here, right? The H12 group. So the E18 move it's not as big because you still have to come back and capture because of the second group. So making an eye with the group at E18 doesn't stop you from filling inside your own liberties. So maybe 18 is not that big. I would say certainly not as big as C13. But still rather large because you. Can you do this? Well, that's strange choice from F18. White can just descend. I'm not entirely sure. I think this might have been better at some point, but it's Gote. Yeah, so I would keep it in reserve because at some point the Gote that's bigger, so it's a lot more points that you reduce by connecting and being able to save the H18, but it is Gote, so it's not to be played right now. But likewise, White is not going to add a move here right now either because there's no big move for White to play. So I definitely would not have played f18.
Yep.
Because it seems like you're giving everything so cleanly. So I don't
Well,
like
and
black.
kind of the classic idea of if your opponent doesn't want to go there, then you probably don't want to go there. But so maybe a bit on that way, but getting some forcing moves, I guess. Yeah.
Is this another Kevin versus Eric? Still a lot to play. So they're both best of threes, and then even if Eric manages to win over Remi, he still has to beat Alex, and then and then the Kevin's already through. Oh, you're trying to say Kevin and Eric will never play unless Kevin loses the 2 games against Alex.
Right. I think what Tanjay there is saying is when Kevin and Eric played in a previous round, there was kind of like this point swing
big
between
blunder,
Kevin and Eric, where Eric came back and then lost the lead again. So if Eric does the exact same thing, comes back from way behind, but then ends up losing anyway in endgame, I mean, that would be crushing for Eric to have that happen to him.
That was very unfortunate. I remember at some point he played like a 1.5 point Gote move when there was a 5-point reverse Sente, and then when you end up losing on points after this, it's very, very unfortunate for sure.
Right.
If we go back to the game, yeah. So Remi did descend.
Yeah, Black does seem to be playing a lot of moves to reduce a cut Aji. Maybe at the top is what he was aiming for. And then even with this B15 move, definitely prevents the cut as well, while also protecting the corner.
And now they started close. So Remi has definitely counted, and he knows he's behind. So he's starting this slow. It's what I gather from this.
Right.
And if we look at call threats, Black has, let's look at White's. This is definitely a call threat. 1, 2, 3, 4 call threats over here.
Yeah, Colossi's understandably getting sucked into the game, unable to do anything with his life. Probably just has to close it and walk away. Here you and I too. I don't know. Much for our morning. Can't get away. It's such an exciting game.
White does seem to have more call threats.
Okay. So yeah, Remi wants to be doing this code then to kind of maybe come back a bit, especially if he has more code threats.
Black has this one, but if he adds one more, he loses a lot of points. So he can't really add one. He has 1, 2 here, 3. Then 4. That's not a threat, is it?
No, right? Because they don't have the outside liberty ?
Yeah, big question mark. Involves reading.
Right.
It looks like it's hard to kill.
Yeah, so maybe A6 isn't quite a code threat, but if it can kill, that would be awesome. So
I think this is hard. But in a 1 minute BOM, I would definitely Tanuki this one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, go ahead, Black.
Not to mention that if you're capturing here, I don't know, let's say something on the inside. There's like all this Aji with the E3 cut, and then later at D7.
Yeah.
So I would just assume that it's fine. So he's only at 4. He has 5, 6, 7. So Black would have 7, but White has all the center threats. He has 1, 2 over here. He has E3. He has C18. So yeah, I think White has more call threats.
The players have started fighting it a bit.
They are doing the co. So maybe we'll take the time to go to see Kevin's game.
Sure.
Wait.
Come back and.
Why would he play here? Is it better for the end game? No, it's just alive, right? That's a lot less call threads. If you just peep.
Oh, to peep instead of cut, yeah.
Yeah, he lost like 3 call threads.
Huh. Yeah, it's confusing. I don't know. Remi, no.
He might still have enough though. He counted. Maybe he's thinking after he captures,
Oh, he gets.
is there
Wow.
some kind of benefit? I don't see any.
No, right? Yeah,
You
white
can't make an
can't
eye where he
Hane.
has the eye.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's a strange choice by white. Again, maybe the time pressure having a big effect.
But maybe he just has enough call threads anyways. But it does seem to be a lot closer because of that.
I mean, even if white has just enough code threads, I mean, B18 feels odd to me. So, right, you still want to maximize your code threads, even if you have enough.
And then he plays here. Wow, and
Yeah,
wait,
just
capture like that. That doesn't seem the way. This is big.
Yep.
It's big, but you're not eating the stones. I think black is happy with this result. The code thread might not have been enough.
Even if white, because white can't eat those black stones, right? Yeah.
I have no idea. What is this? This is.
Dubious said this game is not finished. Game is continuing. Tanjay is just speaking figuratively.
Black sleeve.
But yeah, Harry Bob, I agree with you. The center stuff is
center code thread. He had so many more code threads, and he lost a lot of code threads with. Or did he think that C19 is not? No, C19 is definitely enough. Like if he cuts, and he ignores. This is very big.
Yeah, maybe that. I think that was his worry. I guess he was thinking that this variation wasn't enough. That's why he probably played B18 to maximize the threat move. But then I think if he's maximizing the threat move, the D7 kind of Hane there, Hane between the two stones wasn't enough. I mean, white should be finding a bigger.
The thing is that he cannot even capture those two stones.
Right.
So I think Remi is definitely struggling right now, and I think this is pretty much over because he has to connect here and then connect back, or maybe he cannot even move out. He has to connect back now. So black didn't actually lose all that many points. And black can Tanuki to a big, mind you, there's not many other big places, so he'll probably still come back here. Oh, this is very unfortunate.
Unfortunate for Remi, but I mean, quite the hero's journey for Eric. But I think it still would have been more interesting to see that Ko go deeper, because there's a lot more potential kind of for that to be interesting.
Right.
Kind of the variations you were looking at were cool.
When you're behind, you want a code to happen, right? Because that's
right.
The easiest way for an opponent to make a mistake is when there's a code on the board. And now Eric is sharp and not giving any chances to Remi.
Yeah. Holy cow, dude! Come back, king.
He can just. So there's nothing really here.
Yeah, just solidify, take the big points, be ahead. And it looks like the score estimator putting black ahead by 22 points now. Before it was only ahead by maybe like 5, which is still a lot at these guys' level. And so yeah, White's probably not maximizing for points. White's trying to kind of create some sort of mistake in black, but Ko would have been the way to do that, like you said earlier. But yeah, White's probably kind of playing out some resignation sequences here, trying to just find something to make something happen. But yeah, another game later, and I think we'll maybe briefly also just look at the results of Kevin and Alex's game.
Yeah, I think we'll jump into that one.
Each day we're streaming at 9:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. You can see the times and the games in your time zone if you visit the Buddy Club page, and past games, past updated results. Oh, yep, we have the results here. Oh no, this is Kevin's game. So yeah, definitely, keep tuning in. Yeah, the loser series. I mean, it's just they lost the kind of the first game yesterday to put them into the brackets. But that's what the quote unquote loser series is.
So we left off over here, where they just played the P2 Q2, and then White is continuing to help out his group at J9, but also threatening the K3, which is so if Black does something nonsense, there's this way, which would be terrible. So that's a lot of points. So I'm sure Black will defend in some. Sorry, once again. Defend somehow. Okay, that's the game. He does defend like this. But it seems like Black never went ahead and activated the Agi with the R11 stone. He never tried taking those stones out. So the point imbalance seems very difficult for him to make up.
Right.
White is just taking very big points. And we mentioned last time the H2 capture is very big, especially with the stone over there at K5. Oof. Black was supposed to make a decent amount of points at the bottom, but it seems like he's settling with life, and that's it. Even playing this one right away, I'm not sure. Maybe it's still something. Maybe Black's still not alive. So, wow.
Yeah, we White getting all the Sente here and reducing Black everywhere. It's painful.
Wait, you can't get R2. This is too much. Wait, what? He's gonna. That's a very sad way to live. Ouch.
In Gote, yeah.
7 points in Gote. You lose all those points in Sente. It's very, very unfortunate.
Wow. So maybe he blundered there.
No, not right away. He's winning, so he doesn't want to go.
Right.
Blunder with maybe N2, but I think he's worried about the life of his group, which is why he plays here.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
He's worried about if he defends, it can be very painful.
Yep.
It's not easy to find the eyes. So I definitely understand this one. But it's very sad to lose all those points in Sente. When you're already behind on points. Very difficult. So if he captures that one, it's very big. And he fixes like this. I guess now White is so thick that there's almost no chance of Black living with the R11 stone. But it looks dangerous still.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some potential for life. So I think he should have tried something with this one.
Yeah.
I don't see a clean way for White to kill this. when you're behind, you just have to take these risks. The problem,
Right.
I take these risks even when I'm ahead, and that leads to me throwing games. But
Yeah.
you have time. You have a 1 minute Biomi. You can count. You can count that you're behind. So you really have to try something interesting. So let's see what. Okay, Black did do something in the game, just didn't.
Okay.
Okay, so he is going for that, and he plays this close. So very similar. He just didn't do the push at Q11. Okay, so they're playing this ko. Wow, so sad. It's close. Okay, so wow, so White is winning enough that he can allow Black to live and just try to profit by attacking it a little bit. I guess well, not like this. Just thick connection. Interesting choice. Seems heavier. Maybe he was worried about this kind of ko, but you have to be ready to play these kos when you're behind, because it's really your only chances back in the game. Oh, and there was something funny that sent the variation all the way to the end. And then White came back and saved the 4 stones, which is pretty big end game at the top. And starts his attack. Yeah, I guess at this point we would have to count, but it was White by resignation.
Yep.
And we're pretty much towards the end, so maybe we'll just forego those counting because we're like 10 moves away from the resignation.
Sure.
I guess
Yeah, I agree.
a very solid style from Kevin. It's very interesting. Something I wouldn't be able to play. He doesn't try to find any genius moves. He doesn't try to go for the big kills. He doesn't do any flashy moves. He just takes big points, important areas, and he closes out games in a very solid manner. So very impressive. Very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, you have those determinations about how to play given your current position and the chances, and yeah, Kevin just takes a W and carries it to the end, which is powerful.
Mikael asking, can I just take Q11 instead of S13? I mean, there's a lot more points on the side. Then the center is not important. You would only really want to play Q11 if you're trying to attack Black's center, but that doesn't seem very possible. So if you play Q11 instead of S13, then White loses a lot of points in this variation. So no, I wouldn't play in this way. If you go back to the game. Yeah. So he just closed out simply like that. White has too many points. White managed to make quite a few points. If you think about it, Black was trying to make a big bottom, but he got attacked left and right. He ended up making something like 7 points at the bottom. Or not even 5 points at the bottom. And then White made more points just in the center while attacking. So very, very clean execution from White, I would say. Very impressive. It's not the kind of exciting games with large calls and trades, but it's very clean. It's something definitely something you like to see in your pros. You don't play the risky style. You don't play variations that you're not able to read out perfectly.
Yeah.
And it leads to very consistent wins, and it shows because Kevin hasn't dropped a single game. Despite
exactly.
It's a 3 format. I mean, it's still early. There's still one more game at the very least to be played, but he's looking very, very strong.
Yeah, I mean, perfect commentary. It's, I mean, yeah, a lot of weaker players like myself. I mean, sometimes even if I'm ahead, I go for the bigger, more interesting stuff. But that's not a pro level style of thinking. You know, we got pros. Obviously, goes fun, but yeah, your job is to win. So you play the right moves, and
It's a very mature style for someone his age, right? He's still very young.
Yeah. Both Alex and Kevin Young, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I played in Korea, and sometimes you play against kids, and at my level, the kids are like 11 or 12 years old, so they are very aggressive in general. They're always out to kill. So Kevin's a little older, 14, 15, and they do also calm down around that age over here, but it's very impressive that he can have that mature style.
Right. Claudius asking you, what level are you in the Hanbayon?
Oh, I haven't played Hanbayon in at least 7 or 8 years, but that was almost the top group, I guess.
Nice.
The Hanbayon with these tiny little blue chairs where you're playing against elementary school kids. It's like the ranking system. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Okay, talk more about that. That'd be cool.
It's like a ranking system for like elementary school kids, and there's like group 1s to the super group, or from 8 or 10 to super group, and the closer you get to 3, 2, 1 is the strong group, and then you get super group, and then super group is like basically Yonggusen, which is like the Insei in Korea.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, scary kids, and very fast time settings, which are very beneficial for these kids with amazing life and death reading.
Right. Well, so yeah, my quick story too. I haven't. I went to Korea, but I didn't play much Go over there than playing like in the parks with the old guys. You know, you pay $1,000, $1, and having a good time with them. But in China, I did visit some Go schools in Beijing, and at my level though, I'm with like the 4 and 5 year olds.
Basically,
and
it's crazy.
Yeah. I guess I realize my name's not quite up to date over here, but my rank's only like 1 dan, and so these kids they would beat you, and then they'd kind of like grab your hand, like, let's go play, and they take you out. It was a adorable way to the playground or whatever, and
you get to get your revenge against them in some sports or soccer or something like that.
Exactly. And occasionally though, I would win a game or two, and at that age too, they would just burst out crying, and all their friends would laugh at them. Haha, you lost the Westerner, it's kids over there are super strong if they're training, part of the training schools and stuff like that. So
and they learn in a very structured manner from a young age, and it's very beneficial for their growth, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you want to switch back over to the Eric game? And
see
Eric and Remi
over there. This was the but I think when we left them off, it was basically over. So he's dead, and then that was my variation. To lie. Okay, so he did try to save this. Okay, interesting. Okay, so he fixes all the Aji and Sente, because white had it over here. But there's also, I guess black doesn't have enough liberties to do this. So it's fine. Like, there's this cut, but he's going to get in trouble. He doesn't want to let these stones live, so he might get in trouble this way. So he couldn't cut right away. And then Remi recognizes that, but still fixes the Aji in Sente with, over here. And then comes back and live in the corner. Black still plays this move. And then he just takes a big point. Capturing that is worth a lot.
Yep.
There's not much endgame left at this point, so.
Right. And both players are probably not really counting at this stage. They're in Yomi. They're just trying to maximize their scores, and then they'll figure out the count, once the game ends.
And it's quite sad. He never got to use the E3 Aji. Just the way things played out, because he got cut over here. But I don't know, let's say something played out differently. When you cut here, these stones don't die, but you get to have this kind of reduction, which is rather
Oh,
large.
yeah.
It's a way to sacrifice the stones, which get a nice reduction. Tanji made a 9-year-old Chinese 6-dan, yeah. And Chinese 6-dan is very strong. It's like a huge jump between 5-dan and 6-dan. It could be like 3 stone difference sometimes. Yeah, so I've got to say Remi floundered a little bit on both co's. So the very big ko, I think he might have had a chance with playing the ko threads at the bottom around the M2. And then this ko over here, he's still behind, but he has more ko threads, so I think he could have won that ko. So that's unfortunate. But credit to Eric, the recognizing that he can ignore D7. It's not always easy, especially with 1 minute. He's on his last beat only.
Right.
So that's nice on his end. It's some fast reading. Especially if he does something like this, it would be a disaster for Black. Well, I guess he can connect back out, but maybe not even. No, not even. Yeah, that would be quite bad. Let's see where they are at. Wait, why am I saying so here?
Yeah, so it looks like the game recorders are kind of
the
like
game ended.
variations, and the game is ended. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to the end and kind of get the result if you want to officially give it from.
Yeah, so they just fill out the variant. Oh, so it go to counting. Interesting.
Well, again, so it looks like Black by 13.5
okay.
is the score, and yeah, I mean, it makes sense to go to counting to me. I mean, you just can't. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my Bayomi periods counting.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess if you're uber strong, I guess Alex and Kevin here, they kind of saw the end and from where they were and just resigned. But yeah, no blame to Eric and Remi for taking that to counting.
Yeah, you're already at the damage stage. You might as well just do the counting anyways. Just go through the motions. You're processing the loss. It helps process the loss, I find, in many cases. And it was plus 13, but it was closer until the very end, right? Until the very last ko. So the ko could have gone a different way, I think, and then Remi would have got a good chance, fortunately. But it didn't pan out for him. But still, a best of 3. He has he just has to win 2 in a row. Eric got the better of him this time, but we'll see how he turns up for the next round. They're playing in just 2 hours or so, or an hour and a half, right? It's a very short
break. It's coming up short, so we'll be back exactly right in about an hour and a half. And huge thanks again to you for coming on this stream. I mean, so grateful.
It was a lot of fun.
Good. Are you going to tune in to the next round?
What I've been doing the last few days is usually my baby will wake me up in 4 hours or so, and then I check the results, and usually it's like the end. You're already in the end game and filling out the last few points. So I might catch the very end of next game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Same, Seba. I know that Remi is definitely a lot stronger than what he's showing in these games, but it's hard to manage your psyche and mentally play your best. So sometimes the pressure, stress gets you.
Right. And a fun little fact for people that didn't hear it earlier. I mean, Remi and Eric have been living with me at the Baduk House residency program, and they play each other. And I think Remi has had a winning record in the house. But it's all that matters is the final game. So and Eric being the classic comeback king, almost coming back against his game, and Kevin he pulled out some really sneaky stuff, but then Kevin beat him at endgame, and that's how they wound up in the current settings. On the screen, you can also see kind of like the brackets, how it's going to play it out, and some of the standings. So far it's a best of 3 match from here to the end. Yeah, it's really all in the air for who's going to become the next pro. Makes the games much more interesting when you have such a close field.
Yeah. The next game is going to be
all right.
very
Well,
important.
let's say good.
It's elimination match.
Yeah. Next game is super
Everything's
important.
on the line. Everything's on the line.
The 2:30 match. If Kevin wins it, he'll become the next pro. Alex will drop down to play the next winner of the kind of Remi Eric situation. But if Eric wins another W, Remi's just gone. Remi really needs to win this next game to tie it up and bring it to the next round tomorrow morning. And then I think that'll probably it might happen. But mentally, gosh, what a defeat after this game. Hopefully he has enough time to go get lunch and rest his mind and I'm tired just watching this. Exactly, Jay. Exactly. Bring a good match for the next round. So, yep.
I don't know. I'm confident. Remi will turn around and we'll see a better performance and hopefully a victory in the next round. I'll wake up to a victory from Remi, and then we'll have a decider tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be super exciting. Honestly, I think that'd be the most interesting way for that to go. I'd love to see it happen like that as well. So,
all right. To Mike Powell's question, do we have a spare morning if both games finish today? No, there's no breaks. As soon as the rounds are available to play, they're playing right away. Keep the games running.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So, all right, chat. Manuel, thank you so much. Take care. We'll see you later. Yeah.